My name is Aidan Kearney, also known as Turtleboy.
He is a senior editor for Turtleboy Daily News.
I'm a big fan.
We've broken hundreds of stories that the mainstream media won't touch.
Some blogger in Massachusetts who's getting to the bottom of this better than anybody.
Why is it Turtleboy that is covering such important issues? Where is the rest of the media?
You did not say that you were going to take my baby out of revenge and make him a transgender baby.
Stop it.
Don't you want to ask some questions? I know you do.
I do. I know.
People don't like the things that I say and want me to stop saying them, but I won't. I'm never going to stop. These are the kind of stories that must be told.
Hey, what's up, Turtle Riders? How's everyone doing tonight? I'm trying to get the Rumble. I'm seeing if Rumble's working. It wasn't working before. Hold on. Is it working on Rumble? Let's find out. Yeah, it should be working on Rumble. Okay, cool. All right. Anyway, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Turtleboy live show. My name is Aidan. You can call me Clarence. You can call me Uncle Turtleboy. That's the traditional name, or I really prefer Dr. Turtleboy. It's my preferred pronoun because if Jill Biden's a doctor, then I'm most certainly a doctor. So you can follow me on Twitter. My Twitter account is at Dr. Turtleboy. That's DOCTOR Turtleboy. We're getting close to 38,000 followers on there, which is pretty cool because I was banned from Twitter for quite some time. I got back right before Elon bought it, so that's good time to buy low on Twitter. On Facebook, you can follow my personal account, Clarence Woods Emerson. That's growing by the day. I think that's close to like 35,000 on the personal account. So you can follow that one. A lot of action goes on the Clarence Woods Emerson account. You can also follow the Turtleboy page, which is getting close to, I think, 25,000. There's also a fan run account on a fan run group on Facebook that I don't admin at all. It's called Turtleboy OnlyFans. You could check that out. I think it's like 25,000 members in there. Instagram, we're at Turtleboy_daily_news. I don't know how many followers you got in there, a whole bunch. So just, and most importantly, make sure you smash that subscribe button. We're over 35 G's on here now, so that's pretty cool. But let's get that up to 40 and then maybe 50, then maybe 100. Might as well. You know, we're here. So also go ahead and subscribe to our Rumble channel. I'm going to put it in the link right here. So basically, guys, Rumble is the alternative to YouTube. YouTube takes down so many of our shows. Probably like 10% of our shows get taken down by YouTube, and I don't even know about it till I go back to reference it, and it's just gone. It happens all the time, and we have no control over it. It's censorious. It's stupid. It's clearly not a free speech forum at all. So we're just, as soon as Twitter gets live streaming, we're going to be on there like all the time. But for now, we are on YouTube, but I highly recommend you guys join Rumble. Rumble is the free speech alternative to Twitter. They don't take down anything. They're a free speech platform. I'd highly recommend creating an account, going over there and subbing to us. We got a couple thousand followers on there. What I'm going to start doing now to kind of like incentivizing us getting over there is to do, starting on Saturday, this weekend show, I'm going to start doing the last about 15 minutes of the show exclusively on Rumble. So if, you know, Q&A, all that stuff, it's all going to take place on Rumble. So make yourself the Rumble account. The Rumble link doesn't work. Is that right? Somebody said the Rumble link doesn't work. And I'm watching. Are we not? Is it not working? Oh, it's just not working. Okay. So I don't know what the hell happened. I don't know. So, okay. So back to YouTube. I'm going to post on here. Guess it's not working. I'll have to upload that to Rumble later. Okay. So sorry about that, guys. Anyway, so I promise we will be working the next time. I pinky swear we'll be working the next time. So, okay. So they make me do like an intro video on Rumble. I just picked the first one that comes up in my library. So ignore that video. It's not the topic of discussion for tonight. It's, I don't know why it still shows as upcoming, but make sure you smash the subscribe button. And if you're new here, hit the notification bell, because you never know when we're going to do impromptu live. So this week, here's the deal. I got my son finished kindergarten, and my daughter's still going to 2nd grade. So I'm stuck with him all week, basically. I can't leave the house. So I can't go to like Canton. I really wanted to go to Canton this week, but I'm stuck. I can't bring the kid with me to Canton. You know, we all can't be crusty panties of the world and bring our kids along for work and stuff like that. But so basically, I do have some trips to Canton planned then in the near future. We will 100% be doing some sort of protest before July 25th, like a rolling rally protest. I've talked about this before. We're going to start in Norwood at a certain disgraced police officer's house, new house where they're hiding out. We're going to start there. We're going to go to McCabe's house. We're going to go to, and I guess I picked a good week not to be able to travel because my good friend Jen is in Aruba. So we're going to go to her house. We're going to go to Michael Proctor's house for sure. I got to find that motherfucker. I need somebody to get me Michael Proctor's work hours. That's what I really want to do. I am so sick of the state police and their corruption and the fact that they don't think they have to answer to anything. You can't even like go to the, like, where does Michael Proctor work out if nobody knows? He's a detective. He doesn't even wear a uniform to work. So, and he's just going about this like it's nothing. I despise Michael Proctor. I hate him more than I hate everybody else in the story. That includes Colin Albert. That includes Brian Albert. That includes Jen McCabe. I hate Michael Proctor the most. And I think I hate the judge second most, Beverly Cannoni, and then probably Adam Lally third, if I had to rank them. And then with Michael Morrissey, same shit. And then it would be, I don't know. Like, I don't really hate, like, I hate what Jen McCabe's done and I hate what she stands for, but she's almost comical at this point. Like, she's almost like amusing. And it's not like at least she didn't like actually pull the trigger and kill someone, although she did contribute to his death. Like, let's be honest. So I do hate her for that. But yeah. Anyway, so, all right. So I forgot to, by the way, I got to post the dono chat. I see that's not in here. Hold on one sec. If you guys like the show, I'm going to post this in the chat right now. Turtle chat. Pin message. Okay. All right. So if you guys like the program and you'd like to support our work, our independent renegade rebel journalism, what you can do is you can click the link to the top. That brings you to something called Super Chat, Turtle Chat rather. We can't do Super Chats on YouTube because we had the wrong opinion about our idiot dementia president and his vaccine mandate a couple of years ago. So they took away that ability from us. So if you'd like to donate and help the show out, you can click at the link at the top, donate whatever amount of money you want, and you get to put a little message. I will get the email notification with the message. I will read it out loud to the class. You can do it that way. Or you can cash at me at $𝗟𝗏𝗍𝗔𝗍𝗍𝗍𝗍𝗍𝗍𝗍𝗍𝗍𝗍𝗍𝗍𝗍𝗍𝗍𝗍𝗍𝗍𝗍𝗍 Turtle Boy. I already got one here right before the show started. We got one from Brad. Sends $100. Thank you, Brad. Appreciate that. He says, looking forward to the Canton protest, as am I. And I think we should end it at like either the Waterfall or CF McCarthy's, or I heard Hillside is a bar in town that a lot of people like. So we definitely need, I'll be organizing that in the next coming weeks. It'll definitely be before July 25th. July 25th is the hearing date for this for now. Hopefully it's not rescheduled, but I will obviously be inside the courtroom for that, but we will also be having a protest outside of the courthouse. We will be protesting for John O'Keefe and Kara Reed outside of the courthouse on July 25th, before court and after court. So stay tuned for all that good stuff. Okay. All right. Let me pull this up. Let me pull Turtle Chat up. Actually, we got a message here. Oh my gosh. Some of these people with their goddamn messages, they can't read all that. Okay. I'm going to write Turtle Chat. Okay. All right. So I want to start with real quick before we get to some stuff I want to talk about with the Karen Reed case. I want to talk about this crazy story today out of South Boston. Can we just give this story its due? Let me pull it up. Like, I don't know how this isn't actually I do. I was gonna say I don't know how this isn't the biggest story ever, but I feel like I kind of do. For many reasons we're gonna see. So, all right. So this was we got a message about this the other day on Instagram, and it was one of those messages that made no sense. Like somebody's like, you need to look into this, and there's a tranny party and kids are there and sex trafficking and all drugs and dildos. And I'm like, okay, they have no evidence. We're like, yeah, what am I supposed to do with that? Well, it turned out to be 100% true. Turned out to be 1000% accurate, because sometimes the craziest story submissions turned out to be the most accurate ones. So let me read this to you from the Boston Herald. 4 children living in squalid conditions while being hidden from first responders were found in an apartment filled with alcohol, drugs, sex toys, and a dead man. I like how they put dead man like last and a dead man. According to an incident report and outraged officials. This is sickening, said City Councilor at Large Michael Flaherty. I was informed by people at the scene that there were drugs, alcohol, sex toys all around the apartment, as well as a dead body on the floor. The fire department report obtained by the Herald and confirmed by police response states that a Boston Fire Department crew was sent to Old Colony Ave Saturday morning for a call that a man had gone into cardiac arrest and required medical attention. That address is the Mary Ellen McCormick housing complex run by the city. I've never been to this housing complex. I thought South Boston was like fancy and gentrified now. I guess they do still keep it real in certain parts of it. But I heard this from people that this housing project is problematic, to say the least. It's a very problematic area. And every time one of these liberal yuppies open in your town is like, we need to change the zoning laws to allow more low-income housing. It's like, nope, bad idea. They love to say that. Oh yeah, we need to have more. This is what you get. You get tranny pedo parties. That's what you get. That's what you're inviting in. Oh, it's racist. I bet you most of these guys are white. I'm just gonna guess. I'm guessing most of these guys are not. I'm guessing this was not a Juneteenth party. Let's just put it that way. So the apartment was in extremely unsanitary conditions. Approximately 6 adults who appeared to be males were seen in the apartment, they wrote, saying they subsequently found 4 children in the back bedroom being hidden by an adult male from first responders. So they hide these 4 goddamn kids. So they go there. A guy is like dying or dead. At least they called. That's one thing better than McCabe did. But they get there and there's 4 kids being hidden in the back room with an adult. So first question here. I have so many questions. Why would you not get rid of the kids before calling 911? Like, okay, so we're having a crazy sex party here. Dudes in drag, all this stuff. And there's kids here, probably for bad reasons, drugs. And they're like, let's call the cops. Get rid of the kids first. That seems like a no-brainer. Like I've never done a pedo party or anything like that before, but that seems like one of the first things that you would do. All right. So, goes on to say, according to the incident report, the children were ranged from ages 5 to 10. All of the parties were being uncooperative and did not provide helpful information. So they're not helping out. Okay. All adults present denied having children inside the apartment. Remember that line. Fire crews say they filed a 51A form with the appropriate state agency. Crews, according to an incident report, performed CPR on the person in cardiac arrest who apparently died. BPD is investigating. A fire department spokesman confirmed a call in from that address. At about 11:11 a.m., so middle of the day, officers responded to the Old Colony Ave for a death investigation. It is unclear whether the children were relatives of the people the fire department described as appearing to be male. I think we know what that means. Or if they lived in the apartment. Flair, first of all, what does that even, can we just talk about that for a moment? What does that mean, appeared to be male? Like, I love how we still pretend, all these media outlets like the Boston Herald, that if you subscribe to the idea that a man can become a woman and you called men she and her and stuff like that. You don't get to say things anymore like they appeared to be male. Okay, that needs to be taken out of your, because there is no male. Like, what does that mean? Appeared to be male. What is a male? You don't even know what that is. So enough with that vocabulary. I love how they're dancing around it here. He goes on to say a man wearing a wig. So 𝗵𝗵𝗶𝗺, public safety chairman on the council, told the Herald Monday night the dead body found on the floor was from an apparent overdose, and that a man wearing a wig, claiming to be the father of the kids, was found in a back bedroom. Multiple sources tell the Herald some of the adults were dressed as women when first responders arrived at the scene. So, obviously, I have a lot of questions here. Number one, where is the media on this? Like, good for the Herald for writing about this, but where is the Globe? Where is like Boston 25 News? Like every other media outlet? Like, what is going on here? How do you not want to find out? Like, I put in a records request for the city of Boston for this report because I can't get it. And the Herald says they have the report. They're not putting the names. How are you not putting the names of these people there? These people are obviously predators. They're drug addicted men in drag hanging with sex toys around little kids. We need names. We need names. We need to shame these people, ostracize them from the community, and make it so that they're completely uncomfortable hanging out in public anymore. But you know why the reason they don't do this, of course, is it's because it's Pride Month. I mean, that's what all this comes down to. Not that, but they would cover for these people in February or March too. But my point here is that these people are being, if we say their names, then we're picking on the gay community, right? Like, or we're picking on the transgender community during Pride Month. Okay. First of all, let's get this straight. There's no attacks on the gay community anymore. Nobody gives a fuck about gays. Nobody gives a fuck about lesbians, bisexuals. You know my thoughts on that. You guys, I have, most of you guys disagree with me on that. I think bisexuals just made up. I don't believe there's a single and I'll do my bisexual rant again. I think it's all made up. Gays real, lesbians real, bisexuals not real. Okay. Either there's chicks who like to make out with other chicks at fraternity parties for attention, but they're straight. They're just doing that because it's artful and it's sexy, and there's that. But like, if you're a guy that blows another guy, you're not bisexual. You're gay. That's it. You're just gay. You can't blow another guy and not be gay. I'm bisexual. No, it's okay. But like everybody, there isn't a single bisexual person out there that goes out at night. Because bi sounds like, first of all, bisexual, what does that mean? Bi means two. So there's only two sexes, is that what you're saying? Okay, a little bit transphobic. But there isn't a single person out there who goes out and it's like, you know what? I could go for dick or pussy tonight. I don't know what I'm feeling tonight. Like it's a goddamn buffet. It makes no sense at all. There's no such thing as bi. If you're 75-25 dick over pussy, you're gay, okay? Or vice versa, you're a lesbian. So there's that. Okay. Anyway, that's my rant about bisexuality. But obviously, when we say pride, it's not about gay or lesbian anymore. It's about transgender. It's the T. That's the only letter that matters in this whole goddamn thing anymore. They have taken over everything. They are the most protected class of people on earth. More protected than that goddamn secretary at the hospital in Weymouth who cried about the thin blue line because, oh, it hurts my feeling because I'm black and the thin blue line's going to kill me or some shit. Oh, no, I need protection. I need to get my way. Even more privileged than that. They are the most protected people in the world. And we know that because if this is any other group of people with children, people would be demanding answers. But we don't have names. It doesn't matter what their names are. Apparently, I don't know. So anyway, so that's my thoughts on that. Now, where are, like, good for at least this one city councilor, 𝗵𝗵𝗶𝗺, to say something. I think Flynn, the city council president, said something as well. But like, this is what our teenage mayor is doing. Oh my God, just look at, oh, dude. Oh. She's like not even real. She's literally like, they literally made her in a lab for like progressive woke politics. And I'm not kidding either. She went through some program that Elizabeth Warren put her through when she met her, when she was her teacher at BC Law School, this privileged rich chick from Chicago who went to, private piano lessons her whole life and all this shit. Anyway, so now she's a real woman of the people, and she's got nothing to say about this. Like nothing. Because what are we doing here? What'd she post? On Juneteenth, we reflect on freedom long overdue. Well, okay, so we're celebrating the end of slavery with Juneteenth. First of all, every time I think of Juneteenth, it's like, let's just call it what it is. This is the George Floyd holiday. That's exactly what this is. This was not a holiday before George Floyd. Like this is literally the George Floyd holiday. They might as well call it that. It's not Juneteenth, it's Georgeteenth. And this is like if he wasn't killed, there would be no Juneteenth. It's the stupidest holiday because it extends the school year. If I was a teacher, I'd be so pissed about this. Like I mean, my daughter's got to go one extra day for school. Like if I would really be pissed because you have to have that Monday off if you had to go back just for the Tuesday. That's what I'd be most pissed about. I bet you a lot of people have to do that. It's the stupidest, most made up holiday. We should have less holidays all around. I'd be for getting rid of all of them. No offense to the veterans, but like, I don't know. It's like how many days? Like veterans memorials, cancel them all, except for Christmas. Cancel everything. We should go to school at like Thanksgiving. There's too many goddamn holidays. There's only 365 days in a year. How many days are you supposed to have off? I mean, you eventually have to stop, right? Like, okay, we have that's enough holidays. Okay. We need an August holiday. Okay. We need an August holiday. I mean, why didn't they do Augusteenth? I don't know. It's stupid. Or we day after Super Bowl. Like there should be hangover days. Like the day after New Year's, the day after the Super Bowl, whenever that is. Like those should be granted holidays, not freaking Juneteenth, my ass. It's a stupid holiday. Anyway, I just hate I think it's so stupid. There's too many goddamn holidays off. And like we're just gonna keep adding them all on. You don't add any extra days onto the year. It's like retiring numbers. That's why you can't retire too many numbers for your favorite sport ball team. Like Julian Edelman's number cannot get retired. I hope that's not even in consideration. Like Kevin Garnett's number should not have been retired for the Celtics. He didn't play here long enough. And you're gonna run out of numbers eventually, right? If the Celtics exist for 500 years, you keep retiring people like KG who played here for 5 or 6 years, you're gonna run out of numbers. It's the same with holidays. You're gonna run out of days if you keep making holidays. But anyway, that's my Juneteenth rant. Okay, so back to this. So she says, acknowledge the ongoing work to repair and restore the legacy of centuries of harm. So, okay, whatever. We're repairing harm by doing what? Having a day off from work? Okay. And the beauty and triumphs of the Black community here in Boston. Okay, whatever that means. All right. So then we have Julia Mejia, the woman who's suing me, who is just so retarded. Like I have no other words for this woman, how stupid she is. Look what she posts. Joined Juneteenth block party hosted by Embrace Boston. It's amazing to see the community efforts to keep honoring our history. Pardon? Our history? I'm not sure if you realize this, but the Dominican Republic, dear, is an island in the Caribbean Sea. Now, it's completely different from a place we call Africa. It's not you speak Spanish. You are a different skin tone. You're not black. You're not even close to black. I mean, what are we doing here? She's taking credit for Juneteenth. Oh my God. So this is what okay. So anyway, that's my rant about that. I don't know where the hell these people are, but okay. So that's that. All right. Next topic. So I heard there's a new, I always check daily the Karen Reed docket over on Mass Courts. And I did notice like an hour or two ago, a new thing was added. June 20th, memorandum and order on defendant's motion for order pursuant to Mass Rule 17 directed to Brian Albert, Verizon, and AT&T. So it looks like it's from the defense. So the defense has filed something on June 20th relating to Brian Albert's phone. They have been trying to get that guy's phone forever. It's insane. So let's talk about, before we go on to the next topic, let me just read some turtle chats. We got one here from Law. Sends $25. He says, 𝗵𝗂𝗃 vomiting. I don't know what that means, but thank you. I don't think we have, do we have any cash apps? Oh, we do have a cash app from Brandon Crowley. Sends $50 and he says, for fuck YouTube, keep up the great reporting. So, well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. So if anyone else wants to donate, you can click on the link at the top for Turtle Chat. Donate whatever amount of money you want. Write a little message. I'll get in my inbox or read it out loud to the class. Or you can do Cash App at $UncleTurtleboy, and we can do it that way. Yeah, am I forgetting anything? I was gonna rant about something there. Okay, it'll come back to me. So, oh yeah. So I got it down, narrowed down to 2 cars. So I might need you guys' help on cars. So I'm either going to get, it's broken on Rumble. It's broken on Rumble today. We'll have it back hopefully next show. But anyway, I'm getting a new car this weekend. So I don't know what you guys, are there any Acura owners out there? Cause I'm down to 2 cars. I'm either going to get the Acura RDX, right? Which is, I drove it. It's a cool car, or the Lexus RX 350. Although I hear I didn't realize how big that car was. I thought it was like the size of a CRV. It's actually much bigger. It's like the size of a Pathfinder. I did not know that. But like the next one down in size with the Lexus is the NX 300. I don't know if you guys know anything about those cars, or a few people. Well, a Lexus is a Toyota. It's just a fancy Toyota, right? So I don't know. Let me know. Volvos are cool, but aren't Volvos expensive to get fixed? Isn't that the downside with Volvos? Now, Karen Reed drove a much bigger Lexus. She drove the she drove the LX, which was like a more expensive, bigger car. It's like much bigger. It's like a Ford Expedition size. Get a duck boat. Go Acura. People are saying Lexus 350. Vote Acura. Well, I'm actually gonna put a poll up, and you guys can vote on this. What car should I get? Okay. Start a poll. What car should I get? All right. There's the poll. You guys can vote for me. I'll check it out. I'll respect the poll. Why not both? We'll see. Okay, and that's the thing. It's like I'm a Honda driver, so I drove the Acura, and I'm like, ooh, I like the way it feels. I like the way you hit the pedal. I love on a Honda when you touch the pedal and it just goes. It's the best car. It's the best brand of car for that. Because I used to be a valet, and I've driven every car, and just nothing feels like a Honda. I love it. So I don't know. Oh, it's your first live. Welcome. Happy to pop your cherry. We're doing a quick car break here, but okay. So back to the show. So. Like I said, I check this docket frequently. There's something there. They're trying to get the phone still. We'll rant about that in a little bit. But for now, one thing I want to talk about is we're going to get to Jen McCabe's vacation. But the first thing I want to talk about is I went and been looking for, everybody's been telling me, you got to look for other cases Michael Proctor worked on. And we got a cash app here from Blurred Lines, says, $20 for said I would. Oh yeah. Oh, and by the way, I got to give a shout out real quick. I want to give a shout out to somebody real quick, because I told him I wish him a happy Father's Day. Hold on. By the way, happy Father's Day to like everyone, but especially happy Father's Day to where'd he go? To Bill Jackson. I was supposed to, I told his daughter I was going to wish him a happy Father's Day on Saturday night. Totally forgot. But happy Father's Day to Bill Jackson. If you're out there, keep up the good work. Okay. All right. All right. So back to this. What, the Acura is winning? Holy shit. We'll see what happens. So everybody's been telling me to look for Michael Proctor cases, right? You got to look up other things to see if he had like misspellings and if he handles other cases the same way. And the answer is yes, he does. He does handle them very differently. So, okay. So right now, Michael Proctor, Adam Lally, and Beverly 𝗏𝗂𝗍 are all three of the villains, the antagonists in the Karen Reed murder trial. They are overseeing not only her case, but Brian Walsh, although I don't know if Lally's the prosecutor in that. And they are overseeing this other case involving a guy by the name of, the hell's this fella's name? Miles King. So this guy, Miles King, it was murdered a man named Marquis Simmons, allegedly in Milton in 2021. The lead investigator in that case, of course, is Michael Proctor, the conflicted lead investigator in the Karen Reed murder trial. And based off of a reading of the charging documents, it looks like he's not incompetent. Like if you were going to look at the Karen Reed case and you looked at Michael Proctor's reports, like this guy's borderline retarded. He can't spell anyone's name. It's like Flowers for Algernon, like chapter 2. Everything was just gobbledygook, missing things. And it was like a guy who had never been a detective before. He's either retarded or he's completely corrupt. And I'm leaning towards the latter. And now we know 100% sure because we've read some of his other work and we see that he doesn't make those same mistakes. So I read the charging documents on this fella. So basically, there was some sort of beef in Milton, the mean streets of Milton, but it was the part of Milton that's like real close to Mattapan. So I guess some stuff crosses the river there, and the riffraff gets in. So a guy by the name of Marquis Simmons gets shot and killed. And this guy is a rapper. He's some sort of rapper, of course, that shoots him. And I guess he'd been having beef with him for a couple of years. And so he shoots him dead in the streets. And state police take over the investigation. And it says Detective Clitoris, or Kim, whatever his name is, was able to retrieve surveillance video from the Tucker Elementary School located at 187 Blue Hills Parkway. From the footage, the detectives observed at approximately 6:06 a black male wearing charcoal gray pants, a gray sweatshirt, and a red undershirt, a dark colored footwear, blah, 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 blah. He enters the frame from in front of the 171 Blue Hills Parkway. In the footage, it appeared to the detective that the male was holding something either inside or under the right side of his sweatshirt. Also, at 6:06, the detective further observed a black Mercedes sedan with significant window tint operating at a high rate of speed southbound on Blue Hills Parkway, drive past the school. Lastly, the same male is observed on the footage from the cameras affixed to the left rear corner of the school running down Oak Street towards Blue Hill Ave. So that's all interesting. So this is apparently when the state police come across a murder in this area in Norfolk County, they do this thing where they go and pull surveillance videos and they analyze them and they look at the people in the photos. And then they do this thing where they figure out who was like responsible for killing them by like, keeping a timeline and figuring out who was where at what time and looking at the video and like seeing what they're doing and stuff like that. Context clues that can help you solve murders. Now, they could have done this and perhaps should have done this in the case of Karen Reed. Because if you recall, Matt McCabe and several other witnesses inside the house, what did they all tell Trooper Proctor happened? That they saw Karen Reed parked in front of the fire hydrant, and then they turned around and she was gone. Now, they didn't see any body for some reason, but Karen Reed was just gone. And that's basically what they're relying on. Like that was it. Proctor's like, I'm good. I don't need anything else here. Now, what he didn't do is he didn't go to the hundreds of homes. Remember, we drove this route, the route that Karen Reed's midnight ride. We drove it about a month ago. Got in the car and we drove from 34 Fairview to 1 Meadows Ave, where she would have gone, and went by no fewer than 200 homes, at least, probably way more than that. And an MBTA station. We went through like the center of town, which has like cameras in the town hall building, cameras on the street lights, the traffic lights itself. Of course, the Canton Library. That's all they talk about is the Canton Library. Well, there's which is so shady. Probably the shadiest part about this whole story is that there's 2 minutes. They got all the video from the Canton Library, except for the 2 minutes that Karen Reed drove by. And you're supposed to think that, oh yeah, this is normal. There's nothing nefarious is going on. 2 minutes of tape that go missing all the time. Do you think that tape would have gone missing if it showed a broken taillight? Because I don't. I think it would still be there, but it just went missing. Proudly, because they looked at it and they saw her taillight is intact, and they're like, well, the case is going to be dismissed if we show this, so we definitely have to say make up some shit. Let's have Lally rant about something. The retards will be placated by it, and we'll call it a day. We'll just be openly and blatantly corrupt about this. We'll see. Anyway, so they could have gone to any of those homes. Proctor could have, and knocked on the doors and said, can we look at your video footage? Now, they did do this in other homes. I know this is a fact. I've spoken to people who live on Cedar Crest and on Dedham Street, which would have been the roads Karen Reed drove on if she did a 3-point turn. They went to all of those homes. They asked everyone, do you have any surveillance footage? None of them had it. Not a single person. A lot of them had surveillance, and they would go through. No Karen Reed, no Lexus goes through at that time. So obviously she didn't go that way, which means she didn't do a 3-point turn. That should be also case closed, but it's not. And they just didn't go and just didn't go. There's only one reason they wouldn't go to any of those places, because they know the answer that they're going to get. So look what else he did. Detective whatever and Trooper Proctor also interviewed a resident of 76 Decker Street, Miss Kristen Lacasse. She stated that she'd been a neighbor of the defendant and known him since he was a child. She indicated that on the evening of July 10th, she had been sitting in her living room that looks out onto Decker Street at approximately 6 p.m. and observed a dark-colored sedan with a silver grille pull up very fast and then stop abruptly in front of her driveway. She observed a slender male exit the passenger side of the vehicle wearing dark-colored pants, but lost sight of him halfway across the street heading toward the defendant King's residence. Mr. Lacasse stated that less than 5 minutes later, she observed a female wearing jean shorts and black tights, that's an outfit, carrying a dark-colored trash bag with both hands, come across in front of the dark-colored sedan and entered the passenger side area and then take off quickly in the direction of Route 138 in Milton. She also indicated that she had seen an older model dark Mercedes sedan with heavy tent and main license plate attached to it, parking out in front of the defendant's residence on several occasions. Notice that these witnesses get so much good details. Main license plate, dark, and like they remember all the makes and models and all this stuff. But Matt McCabe, who stares outside of windows, didn't see a dead body somehow. A 217-pound dead body, just didn't see it. Oh, I can't wait to see Big Mac again. I can't wait to see him again and ask him all about that. But yeah, anyway, meanwhile, so this is weird. Like this is a thing that police can do sometimes where it's called interviewing witnesses. See, if somebody was a witness to a crime, you can just talk to them and you can ask them questions. Or if they were in the area of the crime, maybe they didn't see anything, like at least that they think was suspicious, but you can ask them about it. And then they can give you what's called answers. And then you can do detective work from there. You can figure out, oh, wait a minute. If he saw this person here at this time and they couldn't be there at that time. Oh, like, I know this is really hard stuff, really difficult stuff. I didn't go to the police academy. I'm not an expert criminologist, but I do have common sense. And I feel like this is kind of not brain surgery here. So there were witnesses in the Karen Reed case. The problem is they're all inside 34 Fairview Road and they're all looking out for each other. And so they're all saying, like, we're going to blame Karen Reed for this. And just be like, it was really simple what they had to say. All they had to say was he didn't come inside. That's it. That's literally their entire story. They haven't had to answer anything else. They lucked out in that regard. There's no way this conspiracy should have worked, but it did. It could not have worked without the absolute, I wouldn't even say complacency, because it's not complacency. I mean, this is complacency means you're being lazy. Trooper Proctor was not being lazy. He was being, I mean, he's one of them. He's a criminal. That's what he's doing. He's by failing to ask these people questions that he knows he's supposed to ask in pursuing these angles. He is part of this conspiracy, certainly. So the primary eyewitness, of course, in this case, that was not in that house, there's two of them, really. There's Ryan Nagel, whose testimony is beneficial for Karen Reed in some, and mostly in regards, because remember, Ryan Nagel said that he saw Karen Reed in her car by that fire hydrant with her hands on the wheel, with the interior light on, and no one was in the car. That's it. No one was in that car with her. So that means, and he also said no one was around the car, which is weird, because if he's not in the car and he's not giving a roadhead, unless he was like down on all fours, is that what Lally's saying? I haven't heard that theory yet. Then that means that he must have been outside the car, which means he was dead. And Ryan Nagel is like, nope, didn't see any dead person. Complicit. There we go, Amory. Complicit's the word I'm looking for. There we go. So he's obviously a pretty good, he's a good witness for the defense in that regard. He's a bad witness for the defense in regards that he didn't see John go in the house, and he pulled up shortly after them. But it makes sense when I'd love to recreate what that's like in a snowstorm. John O'Keefe gets off in the driveway and just makes a beeline for the door. It's like 20 feet. Just sprint to the door. There's snow coming down. It's very easy for, what's his name, Nagel, not to see that. Doesn't see him make that sprint. Like he pulls up and he's already inside. Like, that's perfectly believable. And when he got there, when Nagel arrived, Karen Reed's car pulled up towards the fire hydrant, because maybe she's being polite and she's like, okay, these people want to come in too, I'll pull up. And she texted, like she was waiting for John's text, which never came. And then she's like, well, I guess he's fine. And then left. Turns out he was not fine, because why would anyone ever suspect that actually did go down the way it went down? So, of course, the other primary witness in this whole thing is 𝗥𝗏𝗄𝗏, Brian 𝗥𝗏𝗏𝗏, that idiot plow driver who we're going to find and we're going to ask some questions to. An idiot plow driver who likes to go around, and he started plowing the roads of 34 Fairview Road that morning a couple times. He did at least 2 or 3 drive-throughs on 34 Fairview Road. And he is now refusing to cooperate and talk. Trooper Proctor has not approached him once about anything. But we know that first of all, we know as a fact that he did plow 34 Fairview Road. He's not denying it. He plowed 34 Fairview Road that night, and he did not see a body. And he specifically, I mean, there's no way he could not have seen a body. Again, it was like an inch or two of snow at that point. He's a big boy, John O'Keefe. He would have been lying 12 feet. It was no fucking way you could not have seen his body there. A plow driver like that, no fucking way. I think they were trying to make him the fall guy initially, until they saw Karen Reed's broken taillight and just say it was an accident. And I mean, I think that's what they were planning on doing. Like, maybe we can make this look like an accident and no one's going to go to jail for an accident. Maybe they wouldn't even felt bad about that. Like, okay, well, if nobody goes to, like, maybe the way they thought about it was like, we didn't mean to kill him. That was an accident. So let's just stage it as an accident outside. And I do think that there is a hatred for Karen Reed here. Like, they hate her. Like, the O'Keefe family's hatred of Karen Reed runs deep, by the way. It doesn't make any sense. Like, Paul O'Keefe okay, you know my thoughts on Paula Keefe, but I think that they just don't like her, and I don't think they ever liked her. I don't think they wanted her to be part of the family. Again, you saw my conversation with Paul. Then why does he think she's guilty? Because she rubbed him the wrong way that morning. Her uncomfortability being in the same house as people who were beginning to accuse her of killing John and caused her to leave. That's what made him think that she was guilty. And that's absurd and ridiculous, obviously. And it's just lazy on his part. It's like, it's your brother and you're not going to put any effort in, but I don't want to do that rant again. Anyway, Lucky Loughran was never interviewed. I mean, how is that possible that you don't, like, how do I know the name of the guy who plowed the street and Michael Proctor doesn't? Well, the answer is Michael Proctor does know the name of the person who plowed the street. And you know who else knows his name? The feds. The feds know his name too. And luck, because I know, I'm quite positive Lucky Loughran has talked to the feds because of what he told me in the message. He said that I don't want to talk anymore. He's been talking to someone. I heard he lawyered up. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. Anyway, Michael Proctor never even made an attempt to speak to this guy, but he was much more thorough in finding out who killed Marquis Simmons. I mean, when you think about it, it's like, so, you know, we talk about lives mattering, Black Lives Matter, right? Well, okay, so Marquis Simmons is black and John O'Keefe is white. Whose life seems to matter more here? I mean, you tell me. The person who they're finding, the person who killed him, or the person they're not? Because Marquis Simmons, they found the guy who did it. It certainly looks like they're going to convict this guy. Whereas with John O'Keefe, they know who did it. They're punishing someone. They're going after someone. They're going after an innocent person, which is not justice. But it's really easy to go after a guy like Miles King or whatever his name is, because he's not likable. He's a piece of shit. You look at he's a bullshit rapper who's posting like, yo, free me on Instagram. So somebody's running his Instagram account posting like, yo, free me. What's to like about him? He's scum. It's really easy to put someone like that in a box because they have no connections and nobody's going to miss them. And it's just like, people are happy to put people like that in jail. But Brian Albert, like, putting him in jail takes balls because he's a cop. He's a Boston police sergeant and he's connected. He's a connected cop. He's on the police show. And we got pictures of him with Willie Gross and our Grass. Is that how you pronounce it? Grass, Willie Grass. We got pictures of him with all sorts of, like, he's a Marty Walsh guy. So it's really easy to put this random rapper away, but like putting Brian Albert in jail, that takes balls. And God knows this guy's got to do it. Now, I did want to point this out. Somebody on Twitter was chirping me about this, and they said, it's hard to believe that Proctor would do this because you are to believe that he got the call that morning and he's like, look, we killed the cop. We're covering it up. Are you in? And Proctor was like, yep, I'm all in. Now, I understand that might be a little, like, I get it. I struggle with that at first too. But you have to understand the Canton culture here, right? Brian Albert is king of Canton. Like, every picture you see of this guy, he's right in the middle. They're all pointing at him like, this fucking guy, you know? I have so many pictures of him like that. And Proctor is my age. It might be even a little younger. And Albert's like, what, 15 years older than me? Proctor grew up in Canton, I believe. Or at least has lived there for a while now. And, you know, cops know each other. And he's probably like looked up to Brian Albert. And for the first time in Michael Proctor's life, you know, he's a state trooper now. State troopers kind of think they were a little better than local cops. You know, they kind of do. And local cops resent state troopers a little bit. Not all the time, but a little bit. They're kind of like, they're more elite. The state police. It's harder to get into the state police. There's only 2,000 of them. There's way more town and city cops than there are state cops. They look like they're invading Poland. there's just something about being on a state police. It's a little bit more prestigious, a little bit more prestigious. And I think that now Michael Proctor's on a state police. He's not just a state trooper. He's a detective, murder police in Norfolk County. He works for the district attorney's office. He doesn't wear a uniform anymore. He doesn't take the patrol car home. He's one of those guys. He gets to wear a polo to work. And that says state police right on it. So everybody knows he's a state cop. He's got radio and shit. He's a real badass. You know, this guy gets off to himself. And for the first time now, because of the status he has as a state trooper, you know, someone like Brian Albert, who has high position in Canton, needs something from him. Do you understand the power trip that would give Michael Proctor? How good that would make him feel? How, like, Brian fucking Albert needs something from me. Needs a favor from me. They're coming in. I'm that fucking important that these big hot shots in town, they need something from me. It's like this is his initiation into the club. It's like, you got our back, right? You're with us. You're with us, right? You're one of us, right, Proctor? This is your chance. This was almost Proctor's initiation into like the Canton, whatever. We've seen this town, like Jen McCabe, like they don't leave. Freaking 1994, most attractive. Ugh. Like the goal of every woman in this town is to marry a goddamn Albert. And I swear to God, there was a certain ego trip that I believe that Michael Proctor got off of this. I think it made him feel special. And like, oh, good, I'm wanted. Yeah, fuck it. Yeah, let's go. Let's roll. And I highly doubt this is the first time that they've done something like this. We know this. I mean, read stupid fucking Jen Dusos. Remember her memoirs, her book that she wrote a couple of years ago? In that thing, she talked about like how they came across a trooper, I think a lieutenant. He crashed into someone else drunk, and Ristine came and they just fucking all went on their merry way and shit. It's like, dude, they probably do this shit all the time, man. Anyway, back to this. So Oak Street runs parallel to Belvoir Road between Blue Hills Parkway. In addition to the aforementioned video from the Tucker School, investigators also retrieve video from a residence on Oak Street depicting a black male as he runs past 71 Oak Street, ending as the male crosses in front of 67 Oak Street. Further resident video depicts the same male emerging from a wooded area of Oak Street, now no longer wearing the gray sweatshirt, and blah, 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 blah. So you just knock on doors and you're like, hey, can I look at your surveillance video? And they'll just give it to you. There were surveillance videos on 33 Fairview Road directly across the street, on 31 Fairview, which is owned by the deputy police chief, 𝗟𝗲𝗄𝗃, whose ring camera would have had a very good angle because it's close to that fire hydrant. And, oh no, but it wasn't working that night. It wasn't working that night. Is that what he said? They said they just didn't go there. But all the other houses on the street have goddamn ring videos, including, by the way, let's not forget, 34 Fairview Road had a goddamn ring camera. Look at any picture on Google Earth of 34 Fairview Road. There's a goddamn ring camera, a ring doorbell right there. But, you know, don't want to ask any of those people any of that shit. Okay. So there is, let's see what we got here. So in the days and weeks following the shooting, investigators retrieved security camera videos from various businesses in the area of Washington Street and Columbus Ave in Roxbury. So they went into Boston and they got more footage. So they could have gotten like footage of, you know, there's no ring camera video in Dighton as well, where Karen Reed went in. How come we don't see Karen Reed's taillight anywhere in Dighton either? I mean, there's a million and one place. She drove all the way back on some sort of road, right, to get from Canton to Dighton. How smashed up was it? Let's see it. What's her car look like? None of this has been entered into evidence. In the days and weeks following the shooting, investigators also retrieved security camera footage from various businesses along Blue Hill Ave. So you can go to businesses too. Like I said, the I couldn't believe when I did that route. I'm like, what? The MBTA station's right here? You gotta be kidding. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Oh, joke. So it says in the days and weeks following the shooting, and that's the key phrase right there, days and weeks. It took the police 3 days to charge Kearney with manslaughter. February 1st, she was arrested. 3 days to charge this woman with manslaughter. That's it. And I remember David Yannetti, the first thing he said was not like, somebody pointed this out today that what's his name? That David Yannetti, when this first happened, never said that this was a conspiracy, or he actually insinuated that this was a tragic accident. He never said that, but that was his insinuation, that this is not intentional. This is ridiculous. But that's before he even knew what the fuck was going on. Like, who could ever, like, when I first saw this story, that's what I thought it was. I'm like, oh, that sucks. Oh, that sucks for her. You know, it sucks for him. And I'm just thinking, oh man, they're going to want blood on this one. And I'm like, they're not going to let, if this was not a police officer, they might let it go. But because it's a cop, like, she's got to go to jail for this. They're not going to let this one go. And it's like, where's it going to say? Oh, so the weeks and days and weeks following. So like, you don't have to arrest her right away, but they did, because they, like Yannetti said at the time, this was a rush to judgment. It's a political move. Morrissey was like, we need to arrest someone here. It's been 3 days. Somebody has to get arrested for this. I don't care who, but somebody has to get arrested for this. Do the girlfriend, right? We'll just blame her. She seems to be confessing to it anyway. We'll just go with her. So in the John O'Keefe murder mystery, it was solved in a day or two. No DNA, video surveillance, witnesses were required. Like, it would have taken a proper investigation. You keep saying shooting for Kearney. What? Okay. Anyway, so back to this whole thing. It says, yeah, so if they were going to do a proper investigation, they would take weeks to do this. Like, they would have to get DNA. They would have to get video surveillance from lots of places. Certainly a couple eyewitnesses that are not the McCabes would help. Anything like that would help. Phone records. There's a lot of things they could have done with this case to make it strong from the beginning. And they didn't do anything because they wanted somebody to get arrested right away. So Proctor also conducted an interview with, and by the way, all they had on her from the beginning was basically, I hit him? I hit him? Like, you got that one. Who said that? Jen McCabe said that. Kerry Roberts said that. Caitlin Albert's paramedic friend said that. That's about it. And by the way, Jen McCabe forgot that she said that. She recalled it 3 hours later after having a family meeting with Brian Albert for 3 hours. She called her good friend Michael Lank up and said, oh yeah, can I add one more thing there? This really incriminating thing about Karen Reed. Yeah. So on September 7th, 2021, Sergeant Murphy and Trooper Proctor conducted an interview with Mr. Dion Knight, who resides on Victory Road in Dorchester. Defendant King and Mr. Knight were in contact via cellular phone in the hours following the shooting of Mr. Simmons. So how about that? So they're like, okay, so this guy, Mr. Knight, confirmed his phone number from the call records. Call details also indicated that his phone was connecting to a cellular tower in the area of Victory Road at approximately 7 p.m. On July 10th, investigators additionally looked at the defendant's King's call detail records 𝗵𝗵𝗱 𝗟𝗏 data, which indicated his cellular phone's presence in the path of the Mercedes as it traveled from Roxbury to Belvoir Road. And so look at this. They're mapping it all out in cell phones. They're finding out where the phone's moving, and they're looking through the defendant's call records and like, you called this guy. Well, let's talk to him about what you talked about. But with Jen McCabe's call logs, they had those. Jen McCabe handed over her phone over a year ago. Nicholas Guarino did a complete extract using 𝗟𝗏𝗏 and handed over everything he had, the complete report, to the defense. That turned out to be a lie. It was not the complete report. It was missing a lot. Not only was it missing the Google search that she deleted, but it was also missing all these cell phone calls that she made that were deleted, and some shit that wasn't deleted. Like Jennifer McCabe didn't delete the 624 Google search for how long to die in cold, the second one she did, because she wanted that one to come up. She thought that would override the first one. So she wanted that one to come up. So she didn't delete it. But that didn't come up in Guarino's full extraction. They purposely withheld anything that had to do with that. So if they were going to do a full investigation, you would go through all of her calls and you would see at 6:07 and at 6:08, she called Nicole Albert for 7 and 9 seconds and spoke to them. Unlike Lally's bullshit about answering machine, which is a complete lie. Obviously, we don't need to rehash what a lie that is. It would not come up as answered if it was on a voicemail, no matter what that man tells you with too much hair gel on in court. Kind of grown man wears hair gel anyway, but I digress. Anyway, or was I was ranting about, once I start talking about hair gel, I was going somewhere with this. What was I talking about? Remind me. So we conducted an interview with, the phone. So they would ask Jen McCabe, why were you calling this person at 6? What did you talk about for 7 or 8 seconds? What did you guys discuss? But we didn't get those cell phone records, so that never happened. And even today we don't, because why would Karen Reed did it. Like, that's the beauty of this all. The beauty of arresting Karen Reed after 3 days is it gives them an excuse not to do any more police work. You don't have to do the DNA shit. And here's the other thing about this is that I've never seen a murder trial in which the defense is asking for all of this evidence that normally the prosecution's asking for. Like, everything that the defense is asking for is stuff the prosecution, like the library camera footage. If they're certain that she hit John O'Keefe, it should be the defense trying to stop that from coming out. And it should be the prosecution trying to get that library camera footage. So, for example, here in the Miles King case, Trooper Proctor went out and got all the evidence on his own. In the Karen Reed case, her attorneys have been begging police to go out and get this evidence, which they haven't done. Like, DNA. They've been asking for the DNA. They've been asking for his clothes. For how long? They've been asking for the dog animal records. For how long? Why would Lally not want that? If there's nothing to hide, why wouldn't he hand that over? But they don't want it to come out. In the Brian Walsh case, Proctor had Celebrate reports for all the Walsh. And by the way, they had Walsh on video going every step of the day he took. They had him everywhere. But they don't have Karen Reed doing anything. They got no footage of her anywhere. They've had her phone for well over a year. They could find out everywhere she fucking went at exactly what time. In the Brian Walsh case, Proctor had Celebrate reports for all Walsh family devices, including his kids' iPads and all that shit, into evidence by April 27th, less than a month after he was indicted for murder. That's all it took, less than a month. In the Karen Reed case, Michael Proctor still, to this day, has not complied has not compiled Celebrate records from her phone. Still hasn't done it. In the case of Brian Walsh, DNA evidence linking him to the murder. Remember, they found those hacksaws in Peabody. They got the DNA test back on that lickety-split. Hard evidence used to charge him with murder. Karen Reed has been asking for DNA evidence and not getting it. Just not getting it. It's like, hey, like if she did it, right? There's not like what's going to be DNA. There's not going to be any dog DNA on him because he wasn't attacked by a dog, you said. So what are you worried about? They got nothing. Meanwhile, Miles King has been having people update his Instagram, promoting his next album from jail. I mean, this is like, look at this guy. It's very easy to send someone like this to jail because they're very hateable. You ready for Cash 3? Hashtag free Mizzy Cash. Need that gang. Free you. Free the innocent. I mean, I don't know what this guy's case is going to be, but he's definitely not innocent. He's clearly just a waste of space, and the world is better off if he's in a box and away from civilized society. But this guy gets due process. Karen Reed does not get due process. Because again, it's different. You can't think of Karen Reed is not the person who killed John O'Keefe. This guy is equivalent to Brian Albert. And they are protecting Brian Albert. And so they have to, in order to protect Brian Albert, they have to maliciously prosecute Karen Reed. That's the only way around it. Because they can't blame it on Lucky Law Firm like they originally planned. I mean, Karen Reed has handled herself very diplomatically, considering what she's up against and the lack of due process she's had. She doesn't post anything on social media. So Adam Lally and Michael Morrissey would not prosecute a case against Miles King or Brian Walsh if it was handled the way that the Karen Reed case was handled. Beverly Cannoni would not put up with these shenanigans in her courtroom. Because Beverly Cannoni clearly roots for the underdog, I think. As a public defender, that's her thing. She's rooting for the underdog. And normally the poor, defendant with the court-appointed attorneys, they're the underdog in court. Whereas in the Karen Reed case, the underdog is the prosecution because the plaintiff has a very large, now thanks to us, backing in the general public and has resources of her own that she's wasting on this nonsense. And, Beverly Cannoni, like exculpatory evidence has been withheld over and over again in the Karen Reed case. So they've made it clear, that 𝗵𝗵𝗆, his life mattered a lot more than John O'Keefe's. And Anna Walsh's life mattered a lot more than John O'Keefe's because they're finding the people who killed them, but not in this case. But, the good news is that Beverly Cannoni was not the only judge on this case. There was a guy named Krupp before this who made favorable decisions for the defense. And eventually she's going to have, there's a rotation, man. Eventually she's got to go. So it's just a matter of when that's going to be. And the longer this goes on, the better it is, quite frankly, for Karen Reed. Not good in the sense that it costs a lot of money, but we'll see. Did Carrie and Jen know each other? According to Lally, they didn't at all. But they spoke. We went through call logs last Tuesday's show, and they spoke like old friends for the entire freaking day. So, okay. So here's the thing. I got one more thing I was going to blog about today. I just didn't have enough time. Did a bunch of blogs today. Let me pull it up. Oh, by the way, let me read a couple turtle chats if we have any here. Hold on. Okay, let me run through some of these first. First up, Paul sends $25. Paul from Reading says, shout out to the quote indoor cat. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much, Paul. I appreciate that. Next up, we have Kathleen sends $25. Says, here's $25 to help you get your Honda Keep up the great work, doctor. I think you mean Acura, right? Acura, fancy Hondas. Paul sends $25. Oh, it seemed maybe sent that one twice. Well, thank you, Paul. Trooper Proctor sends $10. Says Proctor wants to dance the Blue Oyster. I don't know what that means, but okay. Thomas sends $10 and says Acura is a fancy Honda. Yes, it is. Thank you. Thank you, Thomas. Paul sends $25 again with the indoor cat thing. Thank you, Paul. And Trish sends $25. Says, thank you for all you do. If you think you'd love the Lexus and the customer service, but you seem to love the Acura, go with what you love. No, I kind of love the Lexus. I kind of love it. I mean, I like them both, but I kind of love the Lexus. So we'll see. What's the vote on that now? It's 50-50. Holy shit. Oh my goodness gracious. That's close. Okay. So do we have any cash apps here too? Yes, the blurred lines ones was the last one. So if anybody else wants to donate, you can click at the link at the top. You can donate whatever amount of money you want. I will get a notification in my email. I will read that out loud to the class if you write a message along with it. So I'm going to bring up a couple things here. I got to find. Give me one moment. All right. I'm going to download a few of these. Where'd it go? Come on, Jen. Where'd you go? Okay, I got it. I'm going to pull these up. Give me just go download these real quick. So Jill Daniels got a little drunk the other day and started posting on Facebook in this group called Canton Confidential. And I saved the screenshots. I'm downloading them right now. I'm going to bring them up one sec. Oh, Brian Albert just sent $10 on Cash App and said, I'm too smart for you. Thank you. And Suzanne sends $5 and says, for the Lexus. Well, thank you, Suzanne. I appreciate that. Thank you, guys. All right. I think I got. Oh, boy. All right. I think I got them downloaded. All right. One sec. I'll pull these up. Okay, so as you guys might have seen, our friend Jen McCabe here is in. Where'd it go? There are turtle riders fucking everywhere. This is going to drive her nuts when she sees this, isn't it? Don't message me, by the way. I'm about to bring up my screen. I posted this on Facebook. You might have seen it. Angelina sends $15, by the way. She says on Cash App, she says, thanks for digging for the truth. My pleasure, Angelina. I appreciate that. So this is gets sent to me. This is Jen. She's in Aruba. And there she is with her two oldest daughters, who I'm sure are going to grow up and be just like her. They're on a family vacation there. And this, she's monitoring everything we're doing. And it's just like, it makes me so happy when I posted this, because it's just a reminder to her that now yous can't leave. We're not going to allow you, Jen, to live a normal life. The worst thing you ever did was go down to the courthouse and try to get an order on me. That's the dumbest thing you could have done. Because now I know how much it's bothering you. And that is like a green light to just accelerate. Like, okay, now we got you. So anyway, but guess who else was in Aruba this week? Or I don't know when. Let me pull this up. Call her hotel, right? So, Jesus Christ. So this is the town pass around here. They call her Jill Daniels. She is the sister of Julie Albert, who Chris Albert once said, "I married the wrong sister." He flirts with her a lot. The rumors were she was with Albert, Brian Albert, who knows? Everyone's doing everything, everyone in this town, whatever. Her new boyfriend is this older guy, Nick Morathis, the carpet guy who many believe replaced the carpet in Brian Albert's basement. And look where this is. This is in Aruba. Because somebody commented about it, like, oh shit, you're in Aruba? So she is the godmother of Colin Albert. She's very close with Colin Albert. And this says 6 days ago on this. Now, she was also posting from, she said she was in Falmouth or Martha's Vineyard. I don't know. Something's going on here. Something's going on here. It's kind of weird that McCabe would be in Aruba right around this time too. Because they treat Colin like he's a latchkey kid. He's poor. Like he's from the poor family. The family that dad can't pay his bills a lot. Dad gets taken to court a lot. Dad's kind of a deadbeat. Dad, makes pizzas for a living and is on the select board. And so and this is the godmother, Jill Daniels. And I'm sure Nick Morathis does fine for himself. He owns his own carpeting business. And I think the McCabe's and Jill Daniels, it would not surprise me if Colin Albert was at this resort. Like, where else could he be right now? Because we also got a Colin Albert sighting not too long ago. There he is. There's Colin Albert. Hey, Colin. So a turtle rider was went to D&E Pizza. This was not this past weekend, the weekend before, when it was like really hot. It was like an 80-degree day, and sees Colin Albert walking into D&E Pizza. That's him, wearing a hoodie. So Colin out on a wicked hot day too. This guy loves to wear like cut off t-shirts and stuff. So, sun's out, guns out kind of guy. So it must be killing him to have to wear a hoodie like this and hide. Like he's literally hiding. And we see it, Colin. And maybe I don't know when Bridgewater State football starts their practices, but we'll be coming to those too, Colin, because we got some questions for you. Got a lot of questions for you. And your lawyer, 𝗏𝗏𝗴𝗏 there. We know you have a lawyer. His last name's 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, 𝗏𝗏𝗴𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. I don't know why somebody of limited means like yourself would need a lawyer unless you've been subpoenaed by a grand jury, which is weird because remember, you guys, your critics tell, your people who like you guys, they tell us you're not under investigation. No one suspects you of anything. Bang, bang. Yo, bang, bang. Bang, bang, Colin. How you doing, Colin? TikTok. Let's see if you can make it to 20 without ending up in jail. We'll find out. And oh yeah, remember this picture? This is that's Courtney Elberg, Proctor, the sister of Michael Proctor, at her wedding. Here is one of her maids of honor, Jill Daniels, her good friend. Here is Jill Daniels' godson, Colin Albert. And here is the bride's brother, Michael Proctor. They all know each other. Even though they don't know each other. They all end up in the same pictures a lot. Anyway, so there's this group called Canton Confidential. It's a Facebook group. And the other day, Jill Daniels starts hitting up the boxed wine and is like, you know what? I'm going to go post. I'm going to make a post on the Canton Confidential page. And this is what she posts. Let's read it out loud to the class. Canton Confidential administrators are silencing free speech. Several people have tried to post things, and the posts are denied. This group isn't for freedom of speech. They only allow things that fit their agenda and narrative. Furthermore, the main administrator doesn't live in Canton or America, for that matter. America. Okay. So first of all, oh God, you don't even live in Canton. Does that not just reaffirm this whole thing I have about Canton. You're not even from here. You're not even a real Cantonite. Or America. Dear, America is a whole, like, 2 continents. It's not just the United States. And it's the United States of America. Like, we're the states of America. It's the whole landmass. It's America. Named after, I believe, America Vespucci. I believe that's his name. The explorer. I taught U.S. history, not world. So, anyway, so she goes on to say, she's really mad about this, that they're silencing free speech, and that several people have tried to post things that are denied. Like, first of all, just the optics of this, like, this shows how stupid these people are. Like, dude, everybody knows what you people did and what you're covering up. And then you have like, you know what? I'm going to attract attention to myself. I'm going to go on the Townie Facebook group. Everybody knows I killed, like, no, I didn't kill you. She didn't kill someone, but, you know, her godson was involved in this murder. And she's like, I'm going to go on here and I'm going to make a post and I'm going to accuse everyone else of not allowing free speech in town. Okay. So she goes on to say, it is one thing to have your opinion. We all have opinions and there is nothing wrong with that. But it is another thing to put it on social media when all you know is the facts from one quote unquote journalist. Oh, I'm getting in their heads, folks. They're so mad about Turtleboy. Journalist. Are you all puppets? Why don't you stop following the crowd and just sit and wait for the prosecution to talk? This is like what I've never heard. Like, you gotta understand how bad this makes them look. You're basically telling people, stop thinking for yourselves. Stop talking about facts. Just wait for the prosecution to talk. This is literally what they've coached Paul O'Keefe and these people to do. It's just listen, whatever Adam Lally says is fucking gold. It's just like that guy is 100% honest, would never lie, not deceptive, not deceptive in the least. Just listen to Lally. Just shut up and wait for them to force feed you what we're going to say. Like, the Google search comes out, everyone with a brain sees John McCabe Googled that and they're like, holy fuck, you're dirty as fuck. And their response, and David Traub said the same thing in his text, was, well, let's wait to see what happens. We got more coming. That's their answer to everything. Just wait and see what we got coming. Bitch, you got nothing coming. Nothing. She goes on to say, are we all puppets? Says the person that's like, she's literally advocating for just getting in line and believing this completely made up story and then calling you a puppet for not doing that, which is remarkable. Cognitive dissonance. Then she goes, why don't you stop following the crowd and just sit and wait for the prosecution to talk? This is not even about justice for John O'Keefe anymore. It is now. It was not before anymore for most of you all. It's about assumptions and making fun of people's looks. Making fun of people's looks. Look, I don't care about Jennifer McCabe's horse teeth. And I've been very clear about this from the beginning. I will make fun of your looks if you're a shitty person. Like, I'm not going to make fun of the way you look. Just like, that's mean to do something like that. Like, if you're a jolly fat person, I'm not going to make fun of you for being overweight. Like, we all struggle with weight. I'm not going to do that to you. But if you're just a piece of shit and you're a soulless bastard like Jen McCabe, yeah, I'm going to make fun of the way you look because you deserve it. You deserve to have your feelings hurt. Because I know that you pride yourself in being attractive. You were the most attractive, sadly, in the 1994 Canton High School class. So yes, I'm going to make fun of your horse teeth, period. Sorry. So anyway, I see her posting. I'm like, oh, let's go. Let's dance. And by the way, this is what they were mad over. So this Rizitano chick, she wanted to post something in the group and it was not allowed. I'll show you what she wanted to post. The Rizitanos are the Peggy O'Keefe side of that family. Trash. Not all of them. Some of them are just trash. They're all of my inbox. They've been asked. They're just dumb people. Like, for instance, where'd the message from? I got this message from Stephanie Rizitano, the same person. She tells me, hi, Could you please take the image of John O'Keefe in the hospital bed? Down, I think she meant to say. If his nieces and nephews ever see this picture, it will scar them for life. You know what else will scar them for life? Finding out that their uncle was beaten and left to die in the snow. That might scar them for life as well. Just saying. If his nieces and nephew ever see this picture, it will scar them for life. I am begging. They are my family, and all I care about is protecting them from seeing how much you suffered. Like, that's how I realized these people are such pieces of shit. Like, this is what you're fucking worried about. You found out that your loved one, your cousin, or whatever he is to you, was that you've been lied to for a year and a half about what happened to him. That, in fact, he was beaten inside the house and left outside like trash to die of hypothermia. And your number one concern is Turtleboy is sharing images of it. Like that, like if that is your number one concern, then you don't give a fuck about John O'Keefe. Fuck you, 𝗵𝗵𝗃 𝗧𝘂𝗏. I hope you burn in hell, you useless, stupid cunt. I fucking hate you. I fucking hate you with every ounce of my being. You're trash. Leanne 𝗏𝗏𝗃, trash. You are the trashiest fucking family. And the only good part about John not being alive is he doesn't have to be around any of you useless maggots for a second more. Fuck you. Fuck your high horse. Burn in hell. That's what I think of you. Anyway, this is what this slag attempted to post in the group that was blocked. She said, "Hi all. Can we please bring these conversations somewhere else? Maybe a private Facebook group." Meanwhile, Canton Confidential is a private Facebook group. This is stupid people. Oh my God. I know people like to speculate and ask questions and opinions of others, but this is my family member who died. And it's so hurtful that every time I open Facebook, I see people continuously talking about his death. Well, there's a great way to get people to stop. A great way is you just arrest the people who did it, and then we'll stop talking about it. Stop the cut like that. We're talking about the fucking cover-up, stupid. If there were no cover-up, there would be no discussion of this. You just don't want us to talk about it because we're getting to the truth. And you're hiding behind this whole, oh, we're looking out for his family. You don't give a fuck about his kids. You don't give a fuck about his kids. You certainly don't give a fuck about him. You're literally the worst. Yeah, or leave the fucking group. Or leave the goddamn group. Like, you literally, I feel so bad for John because he had to be related to you. He had to live 46 years on this earth and looking like that. See that retard over there? That's family. That's family. Yeah, that's all I got. Poor John. Poor John. My family is trying their best to grieve. No, you're fucking not. I haven't seen one of you fucking assholes grieve. I've never seen court hearings where nobody fucking cries ever. Ever. Nobody's upset. Ever. Wouldn't you be furious at Karen Reed the way she's handling this? If you believe she was guilty, of course you would. But nobody ever gets upset. I dare you. There's only one stupid person, and that's Carl Dougal. He's the only one that believes that. I swear to God. Okay, so that was denied, and that made Jill Daniels, who is obviously in touch with her, or else how would she know that was taken down, very upset. So I responded. Let me see. By the way, we got a couple things here. Some woman named Tara 𝗵𝗡𝗍𝗄𝗏 says, "Preach. And the ones hiding behind anonymous member are real keyboard warriors. Love our criminal justice and forensic experts on here too." Right? Like I said, opinions are fine, but why do you have to hide behind the keyboard and do anonymous? And do anonymous? Oh, these people are so dumb. And John, who is a moderator in the group, says, "I'm not hiding. Want to talk tomorrow afternoon? I'll meet up with you in the center of town." Okay. And so I responded. And I said, "Oh, you want to talk now? Oh, so let's talk. Let's have a conversation." And it says, Why did Jen McCabe Google how long to die in cold? Why didn't you disclose the fact that Michael Proctor was a close family friend of yours? Why did your godson Colin attack John O'Keefe? Why did he try getting a ride out of there at 12:33? I've seen the call with my own eyes. We've heard the prosecution talk. You tell us to listen to the prosecution. We listened. We haven't heard anything convincing. Do you have something more to add? Like, what are you not telling us? And she, of course, did not respond. She responds to John Como. Says, "Are you seriously that immature? Because Tara doesn't agree with your false narrative, you attack her." Okay. And apparently she's a nurse. Tara, who the hell is this moron? Tara Mustachio Doob. I'm actually a nurse that saves lives. So not sure if you're a nurse, no wonder so many people died from COVID. Because of fucking retards like you. You should not be working in healthcare if you're this fucking stupid. Tara douchebag. What the hell's wrong with you? Not saving lives. Anyone who works in healthcare looks at those pictures of John O'Keefe and it's like, yeah, a car did that. You can't be a nurse. You're disqualified forever. She also says, I haven't killed anyone, but let's watch the spread. Okay. And let's see. I'm still waiting to see what, let's see, blah, blah, blah. So then she says to me, Tara Doob says, I didn't realize you were at the house that night and saw them murder someone. My apologies. I'm like, I didn't have to be there. I've read the grant. This is what they always say. Well, you ain't even there. So if you weren't in the house watching him get murdered, you're not allowed to come to the conclusion that he was murdered. You weren't there either. So why are you having opinions? Like, what? I don't have to. Like, Michael Proctor wasn't there either, and he's arresting her. I've read the grand jury testimony stating Colin was there. I've seen the forensic evidence. Have you? Have you? And then Jill Daniels says, rumors suck, don't they? And I'm like, okay. I go, here's what's not a rumor. Let's talk, Jill. Jen McCabe Googled how long to die in coke at 2:27 a.m., despite telling police that she thought he went home. Here's what's not a rumor. Brian Albert remained in the house instead of coming outside when first responders were trying to save John's life. Here's what's not a rumor. Jen McCabe called Nicole Albert at 6:07, spoke to her, and she still didn't come outside. Here's what's not a rumor. Not a single person in that house says they saw John's body on the lawn when they left. Not one. Your family full of murderers is going down, and you all deserve to be in jail. I'll be there when your godson is locked up. Better spend as much time with him as possible. Then we got Don Titus is like, right on, Jillian. Okay, she's not going to fuck you, dude. Now, she is Jill Daniels, so you never know. You never know. Okay, you never know. So I take that one back. That's the only untrue thing I said. I said I didn't have to be there. And she goes, no, I'm not the type of person to wait until the court case. I'm the type of person to wait until the court case goes to trial and see what comes out of it. Have you not read the documents? There's other things that happen before trial. You're free to read them on your own. Why aren't you reading them if you're this invested? I don't have an opinion either way because I was not there. Well, so you're going to have an opinion after trial, but you weren't there. What do you think every juror, imagine like, this is our criminal justice. Oh, I wasn't there, so I'm not allowed to have an opinion because I wasn't there. The people are stupid. I go, I get it. Research and reading is complicated. Way too much effort, okay? Who cares if a bunch of cop-killing murderers remain free? You can't be bothered to do your own research. And one of these morons is there. I don't know which one. But obviously this woman's a complete idiot. And I said, Jill, since you're in a talking mood, can you please explain to me why Trooper Proctor is in this picture with you and Colin Albert if he claims he doesn't know your family at all? Maybe you could answer that for me. Hey, Jill, why did your godson Kyle hire attorney your godson Colin hire attorney Joe 𝗏𝗏 if he wasn't even there that night? Oh, there they are. I mean, it looks like dude. He's so much older than her. It's kind of weird, but anyway, to each their own. I hope they're happy. But Yeah. Oh, and then check it eventually got deleted, but not before this rant. So this is now she writes, John, it's Nick Morathis, who has his own Facebook page and he's not commenting. You're a sick individual that is a complete lying asshole, and I have no idea what your mission is, but grow a set and stop hiding behind your immature texts and be a man, not the pussy you are. I mean, this is how they talk to everyone. It's like, by the way, that guy John was like, yeah, I'll meet you wherever you want. And they're like, why are you hiding behind a fake name? It's my real name, and I'm telling you I'll meet you wherever you want. But okay, I'm a pussy. Please come and talk to me man to man. Oh, by the way, Nick Morathis, I would love to talk to you man to man. You blocked me on Facebook when I messaged you. Maybe I can come into your carpet store when next time I come to Canton, and we can talk face to face there. These people all talk tough until Turtleboy comes to town. You notice that? They all talk. Carl Dougal running his cock kisser on the steps of the courthouse. Then I start asking him questions and boom, he's got nothing to say. They have nothing to say to me ever. It's so weird. It's so weird. Please come and talk to me man to man. And honestly, stop being like that sick Turtleboy. Ooh. Stop talking shit about Jillian and her family and friends. Nah, probably gonna keep doing it. Grow up and get a life and be a man and not a drama queen. Turtleboy wants to make a quick buck and couldn't care less of the outcome. Ooh. So if you think I'm doing this for the money, sir, you're all wrong. I've been blogging about things before Canton and after. I wrote about blogs today. We had over 100,000 views on the website, and I didn't really blog about Canton until the very end of the day. It was the least viewed story of the day. So I don't have a problem making money and getting page views. I've been doing it for about a decade now. I'm kind of good at it. So I definitely don't need your story to make money. I'm in this for justice because this is the most heavily invested I've ever been in a story. And it is this is certainly going to help elevate me as a journalist, obviously. I have something really big in the works, which I'm not going to discuss until it's official and signed on the dotted line. But we got something big coming up, much, much, much bigger than Timcast. So you'll see. And why are things like this happening to me? Why am I being sought out by much bigger media outlets and being asked to come on show? Why is this happening? Is it because I'm a grifter? No, it's because I'm saying something that's clearly factual and interesting, and smart people are attracted to it. So we'll see. Okay. All right. And I'm not saying what it is. It's going to be one of those things you can guess whatever you want. You can do the math. I think we all knew that this was eventually going to blow up into something bigger. There was no way it wasn't. So, okay. So that's that whole blow up with Jill Daniels. She ended up deleting it, and we'll never hear from her. I'm sure we'll hear from her again next time she starts drinking. Okay. Got a couple cash apps I want to read off here. We got 7-pounder sends $10 and says, buy something with a trailer hitch for the kids. A trailer hitch? What are they? We don't have a trailer. John Timmons sends $5 and says, for Joe Carter has pepperoni nips. Take that, Joe Carter. 7-pounder also sends $10 and says, for Mayor Wu's BPD condones transgender drug parties ? Okay. I don't know what that means, but thank you, Mr. 7-pounder. I appreciate that. As far as the turtle chats, got a couple more here. We got one from Hoss Long to Digest Food. They donated $10 and said, I pull trains for Canton cops because no one likes my face. Mama taught me to give 10 BJs an hour. Interesting messages tonight. We also have $10 from Suzanne. Said, had the killing blow been delivered by the vehicle, there would have been blood and gray matter. That is what occurs in TBI to that extent. Free Karen Reed. It's a very good point. A lot of people bring this up. There would have been blood everywhere. There would have been so much blood. They had 6 solo cups that were barely filled. Just little splatters. A lot of look, your head. Dude, there would have been blood leaking everywhere. It would have been there for 5 hours, supposedly, right? You understand how much blood there would have been? But nope. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. So you're right. No one does work harder. I mean, I work my fucking ass off. I'm not going to lie. So, and I've been doing this for 10 years. I built this whole thing by myself. I had no help. Like, you know, initially I get help now, but did it all by myself, created this brick by brick. Go and read my book. I am Turtleboy. If you haven't, I mean, I feel like, you know, 2017 was really the biggest year of Turtleboy. That was the year I brought on all sorts of bloggers, 𝗏𝗏, North Shore Turtle Babe, South Shore Turtle Girl, Merrimack Valley Turtle Babe. We had a Rhode Island blogger. We had all sorts of blogger, Western Mass Turtle Girl. And really, you know, Western Mass Turtle, so South Shore Turtle Girl, that was my boo. I haven't talked to her in 5 or 6 years. I get a little sensitive about that. I don't know. Sometimes I wonder if she's out there, if she's listening. Miss you, you know. I don't expect her to come back or anything like that. But I do wonder, like, because she was big in building this product that we have here. It really grew a lot because of her contributions in 2017. So I hope she comes back. I hope I talk to her again one day, but we'll see. Yeah, Manch. Manch was like, so that was 2018 brought Manch on. Manch and Bristol came in 2018. That's Crusty Panties. And that was kind of like the downfall. I'm like bringing ratchets on to blog for me. I'm like, I got to do this alone. So I've been doing this alone for like 3 or 4 years, at least the writing component of it. I obviously get help with the YouTube stuff, with the store, and whatnot, and I kind of like doing it. It's like, you know, I've had other people ask, you know, like people volunteer, like that you should have a co-host. I kind of like doing it alone. Ever since we lost Toothless there, Bert, it's like, I like doing it alone. I kind of like doing it alone. Maybe one day we'll have like a Timcast kind of setup, but I don't know. I like having my own show. I like running it. So you think she comments on the page? I would doubt it. I mean, I haven't seen her or heard from her since New Year's of 2017. Last time I spoke to her, but that's a different story. All right. Anyone else have any other questions? Fire away. I'm gonna hit refresh. I keep checking to see if the memorandum is in on this case. Has the memorandum been filed into evidence? Not yet. It's okay. I never understood the Bret friendship. Yeah, you're right. You know, like I said, he can't have adult relationships. So I should have seen that coming. I was like Pretty Woman. I tried to Pretty Woman his ass. I tried to turn this, you know, complete degenerate. And like, if we expose him to this new lifestyle, maybe we can make him a better person. And maybe this is good for him. And he just never, the worst thing that happened to him was I let him have that. Like, I should have told him no with the channel. Things were fine before he opened that stupid Bert's After Party thing that nobody watches. And Amanda Amanda started poisoning his brain. He was fine before that, but ultimately, you know, it's for the better because like he just wouldn't fit the brand. Like he's a problem. And now we know he's fake too. Like we used to all think Bert was real, that he was like this guy that said whatever was on his mind. Now we know that he's just the guy who will say whatever the crowd in front of him wants him to hear. You know, like he literally is the fakest person on the internet, like ever, and the most sensitive motherfucker. And he doesn't have the ability to just, well, this ended and, you know, so Turtleboy criticized me. Okay. So just walk away. I had my criticisms about the way that Amanda handled it at the end. So just walk away. But no, we have to declare war. Okay. That's a sane response. Sure thing, guy. You never talk about what happens if she's actually convicted. Well, it could happen, I suppose. The chances of that are like 1,000,000 to 1. But if that happens, then she appeals it. And I think she'd have a pretty strong case to appeal it. And I'm sure she's thought of that. But I'd visit her in jail. I don't know. I would still write about her case. I would still keep updating it, but I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think there's any chance that could actually happen. 1 in a million. Like, dude, it's a jury, man. Jury. Thank you. The show, do you guys like the show better alone or just curious or with somebody else? Generally curious. Man, the carpool is so close. 51-49. Wow. 𝗏𝗏𝗴 has a court hearing coming up this week, I think, the 23rd. That's this week, isn't it? Oh, yeah. Miss Deb as co-host. No, Deb was never the co-host. She was like the producer, you know? And it's just easier. Honestly, it's just easier to do it alone, to be perfectly honest. Why is Nicole so quiet? Nicole Albert? Good question. Do you know about the basement rug samples? Just that I saw a video of them outside the house. That's about it. Will the Druid go live with you? Yes, when he's here in person, he can definitely come on for sure. I don't know. I would say within a few months, it'll be getting started. Yeah, Bret's back in the SSI. Is he still talking? Yeah. Of course he still loves Turtleboy. Like when we came on here when he got all liquored up a few months ago and he's like, honestly, kind of miss it. And then next year he'd be like, I fucking hate Turtleboy. He kind of misses it. Yeah, it is a better product because we're talking about realer stories. When I write like the ratchet blogs now, like they don't have the same whatever juice to them that they used to. Like, because that's not what people are coming here for. Yeah, Bret plays to the audience, faking a coward. Exactly, man. Exactly. What about O'Keefe's hat? The hat that wasn't on the lawn at first, and then the police found it 12 hours later. Your guess is as good as mine. And a lot of people didn't like Bret from the beginning. And I got that. I won't lie. I'm not going to be one of those people up here, but like, I hated him the whole time. I didn't hate him. Obviously, I liked him. I wrote about that in the book. I meant it, what I said. But again, I tried to pretty woman his ass, and it wasn't working out. You can't make a hoe a housewife. It's just not going to happen. You know, you can't make a guy who's been collecting Social Security his whole life, not working, never is responsible, doesn't understand deadlines, or, you know, he had one job, show up here for 2 hours a week, and that's it. And he couldn't do it. That was too much work for him. So thoughts on RFK? Cool anomaly. He'll be the next 𝗏𝗏𝗃. He's going to be the next 𝗏𝗏𝗃 Gabbard. You'll see. They are going to destroy and get rid of him because the DNC is a cult. No, I don't think the Alberts have. I listened to my rant earlier about my theories about why Proctor is doing what he's doing. He was good for the Food Stamp Friday. Exactly. Like, so with Bret, it was like, you know, what would he say about this Canton stuff if I had him on, you know? Like what would, and by the way, thank you, Alice, for the $20 Cash App. Says, she says, I can't wait until they all start turning on each other. Yeah, it's gonna be hilarious when that happens. But yeah, like I told Bret I'm like, dude, you got to start getting into politics. You got to know what you're talking about so we can riff about this stuff. But and he might have done that, but the worst thing I ever did was let him have that stupid channel, because then he gets that, and he told me, he's like, oh, we're going to call Bret's after party. We're going to talk about the Turtleboy stuff after the show. And I'm like, I guess I don't see the harm in that, but that's not what he did. It turned into the Connie show. Like, we're going to shit talk about in the drama show, and we're going to shit on Brittany, and we're just going to go online and shit on random fans. And it's like, well, okay, so this is something different. And yeah, I mean, it's like, you're never going to be on my level about like the stuff that we're talking about. Again, he had a great opportunity. He makes no money, so he's making $200 a month is a lot of money for Bret, obviously. He loved Turtleboy, obviously. He was a huge fan, and he told me every week after every show, he would message me and say what an honor it was to be on the show. I go back on our Facebook messages now, they're all gone. He deleted all of them because he knew I would screenshot it and make fun of him for it. But he used to literally after every show just message me about what an honor it was to be working for me. And he understands that if I grow, he might not be part of it, but he's happy to be along for the ride, like just filleting me constantly. And I do think that that was genuine on his part. But you know, part of him also just says whatever the crowd wants him to say at the time. And so it's really just, it's like, but you know, it's like so this was really probably one of the best things that ever happened to him was being on the show. I got him attention, and you know, instead of being grateful for that, he wants to cry about it. And so, oh, you fucking red meat, blah, blah, blah. Okay, Bret, sure thing. All right. Yeah, that $200. Is he still asking for food money? That's not good. We have a food drive for this album. Yeah, we should have a can drive. Can we do that? Everybody brings in like a can of Chef Boyardee, and we just send it to Bert because he's struggling. We got to send it to Lewiston, Maine. I will personally drive it up there in my new car. It would definitely be a long shot, but you know, I doubt that's going to happen. And I really think that the feds are going to step in before that happens. Because the feds know what happened. The feds know that she didn't do this. And they're not just going to sit back and let an injustice like that happen. I got it. Exactly. They're going to take over. How did she get the Crusty Panties name? We had an old friend of hers come on the show and tell us this horror story about how she left her filthy, crusty panties in their house. Crusty Panties was the best man. You heard that right. Not the maid of honor. The best man in their wedding. Now Lauren's got her own show. Lauren Laguna, her channel's kicking it. I checked her out the other day. She's closing in on 5,000 subs, getting a couple thousand followers on Twitter. Her channel is growing on her own. She has her own thing going on. Good for her. You would like a call? Yeah, I could, you know, that wouldn't be bad to have somebody to bounce shit off of for sure. It's just hard, you know? Andrea Sweet sends $20 and says, I love that picture of you and your kiddos on Father's Day. Well, thank you very much. I posted it on Facebook. You guys, it was a nice day. You know, I love spending time with them. So what do we do on Father's Day? They were really nice. They made me some cards and shit. Where are they? I never used to share pictures of my kids on Facebook because I'm just weary of that, you know, people, whatever. But you know what? I just don't, you know what I mean? Like Ron DeSantis shares his kids, like whatever. Like if you're going to say shit about my kids, like it really says more about you than it does what anyone. So there's my Father's Day picture. Okay. People did say how the shorts were ripped there, but in my defense, I was about to go running. Those are running shorts and I beat the shit out of them. And I really don't care if they're ripped or not. And I'm not getting new ones. And it was also laundry day. So there's that. And if you want to see the goods, people are like, I could zoom in on them. I'm like, oh, you don't have to do that. Just ask Brian Riccio. He'll send you tape. He's got that thing ready to go. They say the boy looks like me, by the way. They say the boy looks like me. I don't know. All right. What else we got here? The prosecution gets to pretty much pick the jury. But doesn't, they can pick, they're not going to find 12 to convict. Their case, they have nothing, man. Like this stuff matters. What else we got here? Bret is pure trash. I love the night he thought he was going to come back and be welcomed with open arms. Yeah, when he came back here that night, everyone was like he was like, he's like, fuck, you know. It's like, dude, people that like turtle riders don't just follow me. Like if I was like, because I was willing to forgive and forget, like whatever, you're not going to be the co-host of the show. We're not going to be friends, but like, you don't have to be my enemy. That's gay. And he came over here and you guys just weren't having it. So the people have spoken. I don't control them. They all had their own issues with you, my dude. You know what I mean? Keep reading these. I mean, does Bret even do a stream anymore? I don't even know. Obviously don't follow. I mean, I hate to say it, but he was only interesting when he was ranting about me. Like nobody like, oh, is he gonna rant about Connie again? No one cares about that. People want to hear you rant about me, Bret. That's the only thing that makes you interesting or relevant. You got to go back to the good stuff. Krusty tried talking the Karen Reed case last night. I mean, it's like this is the first time I'm hearing about it. So Krusty did another Karen Reed thing. Let me guess. Karen Reed's guilty and I'm a conspiracy theorist or some shit. If a Krusty panty falls in the woods and no one's around, does it make a sound? Because it's basically, it's literally the first time I'm hearing about that. She did a stream about this. Nobody even tells me anymore because nobody cares or notices. Like nothing. Sometimes I'll tease her on her Facebook page, on the Masshole Report Facebook page, and just a reminder, like, hey, so how's it going? You still losing? How's the subs doing there? You struggling for subs there, huh? Struggling for viewers. I don't know what that's like. I can't relate, but hopefully things will pick up. Maybe go back to talking about chili. There better never be as much of a well, I can't control the news. I can't control the news there. It's nice to hear cunt every other word. Yeah. Sorry, I'm still reading the comments about the 1050 comments. Yeah, no, Bret's comments were good on Facebook. I did love the Bret Facebook comments, but he got banned on Facebook all the time. He was, I should just kept him in that role. Like, dude, you just talk on Facebook, do your thing on there. I believe she's innocent, but what if there's video of Karen 3-point turning? Oh, then she's guilty. Like if there's video of that, certainly. Sure. Absolutely. There's video of her doing what, I mean, where is that video? Like they've never said that video. Yeah, Bert only had one tooth. And I was a little uncomfortable with it because, just the way he looked. And I'm like, is that the look I want? But, he was, he had his funny moments and his funny commentary, Can you give me $40 for beer, bro? Yikes. I remember that. Would you have 𝗵𝗲𝗃 as a guest just to hear her opinion on the Canton case? Sure. I'm still reading these comments. He would that's the thing. He would just kind of like, I'm looking for somebody that like has some differing opinions. It's hard to find. I need a strong personality. Well, it can't be the same ticket because one's a registered Republican and one's a Democrat, so they can't be on the same ticket. RFK and Desantis. Bert is still claiming to be a career criminal. Yeah. Chrissy's not. No, she's definitely not going to jail. Chrissy's not going to jail, but she's going to be convicted. Yeah, Bret brought you down. A lot of people say that. What do you do for security, TV? I am the security. So we went out to this restaurant called Quinn's the other day for lunch for Father's Day, and I walk in there and this group is coming out, this family coming out, and the wives like, they're like Turtleboy, and my kids think it's hilarious. They think it's absolutely hilarious that they see all the Turtleboy stuff in the house, and they're like, they know him on YouTube, they don't know what, and I'm like the channels they watch all have like 5 million subscribers, and so mine's got 30. They think I'm kind of weak, So when I get noticed, I'm like, I only got 37,000 subs. But so when I get noticed like that, it's like, it's kind of cool. But sorry, I'm still reading all these. Bannon wants a Trump RFK. Wow, does he really? Didn't know that. How does the memorandum differ from the motion? Because Judge Bev already denied Albert's phone records. I haven't seen the memorandum. No, he hasn't. She has not denied the phone records yet. She hasn't denied those. She denied them in October, but they reapplied for them after the How Long to Die and Cold thing. That's true. Sorry. Any court this week? Like I said, I think 𝗵𝗵 has court on Friday. Did Karen get called by the feds? I don't know. I don't talk to Karen. So do I trust the feds? Yes. I 100% trust the feds. Like I trust Josh Levy. He's obviously very good. Dude, you know why I trust Josh Levy? Because I've read Rachel Rollins' text messages. And he was like the good cop the whole time, trying to get her not to be unethical. He's like, I don't think that's a good idea. I don't like, you shouldn't do that. He was the grown up in the room that entire time. He just, they finally, after a year, got the people who broke that NPR reporter's windows. Any, I don't have any KP court updates. I'm not sure where that is exactly. But Como said Albert's basement carpet was burned. Burned. I don't think it was burned. Oh, I forgot. Slave Bret. Yeah. Thinks he's hilarious, but he's really not. All he does is say vile shit and never disagree with Krusty Panties. That's the thing. I don't know how anyone could listen to Krusty Panties, simply because if you ever listen to one of her panels, it's just her talking 90% of the time, and literally no one, she has like 5 people on, and none of them has ever disagreed with her about anything. Ever. Nor would they be allowed to. And like some of the dumbest people on earth, not a single one of them has anything interesting to say or add. Their job is literally to just suck up to her and make occasional wisecracks and be like, oh, red meat jerking off in the basement. And that's entertaining. Oh, so he's doing Adderall. He's doing Coke again. Oh, he's doing Coke. Right. Three Breasts podcasters. I do love Megyn Kelly's podcast. I'm a big Megyn Kelly stan. Her podcast is very good. You know what I can't stand is Ben Shapiro. I listened to him today. It's like, dude, how can anyone listen to that guy's voice? I can't believe I used to listen to this guy. And the fucking ads on his thing. I'm like, dude, I don't want to go there, dude. But like, dude, do you do anything but make money? Like on this Daily Wire thing? Because your whole fucking podcast is a commercial. Oh, he made a meme. See, I wouldn't even notice. And I assume he would, but that's just low class to do something like that. Like what are you going to make fun of me for? Like, oh, here's your 2 healthy children. And you're like, obviously like a loving dad who takes care of them and they like you. Oh yeah. Owned. Yeah. I'm such a weirdo. Yeah. Oh, kids in the top. By the way, I thought they were taken away from me by DCF. I thought I was such a horrible parent. Sure thing. Right. Definitely. It's all adding up. How good is Wembanyama? Better prospect. We'll see, man. Everybody's talking about this kid, dude. Just remember, he's never played in the United States. He plays in this like, or does he? Does he play in like the NBA junior leagues? I don't know. I just don't trust these guys from overseas. I mean, they could be good. He looks skinny though. He looks skinny. Like Luka was a body. Luka was a big boy. Those are short shorts. No, those are not short. Those are running shorts, I'm all about the short shorts because I think I never bought into the Fab Five I think it's a horrible trend with the like your knees need to breathe. They need to breathe. Yeah, I mean, Kate just talks about any issue you speak. Exactly. Well, it's not bizarre. I mean, it makes sense. It's like once you understand she's obsessed with me, it's like I set the tone. We're talking about Karen Reed, so she's going to talk about Karen Reed because she has no content of her own, obviously, so she just has to talk about me. Bert is always on the KP stream. I wouldn't know. Once he started talking shit about the riders, it was over for me. Exactly. And he only did that because he's just lashing out. Like he doesn't know how to like respond to. It's like, well, I have to be angry. I have to yell at someone. It's the only thing I know how to do. Dude, Trump was a fucking disaster on 𝗵𝗶𝗆. And they asked him how he's going to appeal to like middle America independence. And he's like, he goes on a 2-minute rant about how the election was rigged. It's like, you think that's what fucking suburban moms want to hear right now is like the election was rigged? It's just like, dude, I pray to God we can do so much better than Donald Trump. I guess I'd reluctantly vote for him if he's a Republican, and I'd take him over Nikki Haley or some of these other chumps, I guess. But dude, we have Ron DeSantis. He's a generational talent, and every hit they're making about him is just a fucking lie. They call him Lockdown Ronnie today. It's like he's known for being the exact opposite. The exact opposite. He does everything Trump said he was going to do. He just goes and does it. And they have to just lie about him to make it seem like he's like some neocon. What? Okay. And if you're saying shit like that, you're fucking retarded. You can't be reached. I have nothing to say to you. Like, what, you know? Oh yeah, Krusty's saying you do this for the donos, but wasn't it 60 grand she raised? And did they ever find out where that money went? Because, by the way, I mean, just think of that scam she pulled. She got sued by Chili, used that to raise 60 grand, and then got rid of the lawyer, and then defaulted against Chili. Chili won, by the way. She defaulted. What is that not the greatest scam ever? And then nobody fucking asks questions. It's quite the scam. Who will replace Shannon Sharpe on Undisputed? Oh, I have no idea. I don't watch that. Again, if Krusty Panties ever wants to debate me or discuss it, she's free to. I mean, you talk about me enough, you're free to come on here and talk about whatever you want to talk about. We can debate the Karen Reed thing if you're serious about that. But I don't think you're going to do that because you're not about that life, are you? Why do you wear headphones? Well, oh yeah, I guess. Well, when I play the audio, sometimes, whatever. I guess I really don't need it. But sometimes when I play audio, I like to hear it. John Fetterman, what about him? Typical of who that party. It just shows that they play it for keeps when they have no problem putting a guy like that up for office and voting for him. This Krusty Pan is the one that you tried to get a 209A on. Casual watcher, not exactly a turtle rider, clearly. It's complicated, no. But she tried to get one on me a couple times and recently failed. And it was hilarious. And the judge said, not even close in court. Not even close. This one isn't even close. If anything, the plaintiff is the aggressor. That's what the judge said. But no, I don't have security. Somebody asked later because like I don't fear anything. People fear me. Yeah, I mean, exactly. I mean, dude, it was bad. If you think that went well last night, holy shit. What happened to the dog? We'll find out soon. I think we're going to find out soon. Yeah, I got to get a golf tournament set up. I know. Happy birthday, Heidi. Happy birthday, Brad. Shout out, Brad. Happy birthday. Do you have the time to watch any documentaries? Yeah, when I go to the gym, that's where I watch my Netflix. 𝗵𝗵𝗃𝗃 is annoying. I agree. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how anyone could listen to Krusty Panty's voice. I could listen to Bret's voice. I mean, but not Krusty Panty's. Like, Jesus Christ. Yeah, Timcast has been rough. I don't have 𝗟𝗏𝗃's number, so no, I have not called him. Oh, thank you, Tyrone. I appreciate that. Are you ready for women's soccer game in July? I don't know who's playing. Oh, well, thank you, Nicolette. I appreciate that. It's very nice of you. Who's the best judge in the area? I like my judge, Judge Noonan. He's very good. What about the guns in the airport? What an idiot. Jack Jones, not Jackson, Jack Jones. Thoughts on Jack Jones' lawyer from today? Yeah, she played the race card heavy, but she's really fucking good. She's one of the best attorneys in Massachusetts. That woman with the hair. She just got 𝗵𝗵𝗃𝗧𝘂𝗏, the serial rapist there, who's been charged with rape now 4 times and beat it every fucking time. She just represented him and he won again. So she's very good. She's one of the best money can buy around here. So he's got a good attorney at least. Exactly. Darren gets it. I don't mind Bret Baier. Bret Baier to me is one of the rare journalists who just does his job in a somewhat unbiased manner. And I think he's good. He looks plastic, but for Fox News, I think he's one of the better people that they have on there. Santos has been bought and paid for. Who's Santos? Yeah, Hunter pled guilty today. I saw that. And he's, oh, the Titanic thing. Did you guys see the Titanic thing? Oh my, I hate how it's like people just make fun of them. It's like they're like dying as we speak. They could be dead. I don't think they're going to be able to get to them, are they? They went down in this fucking tube controlled by a PlayStation remote. Like, it's fucking crazy. Kind of the liability that company's going to have. Scary. What a horrible way to die. Isn't there a father and son in there too? Oh, horrible. Yeah, guys overseas suck. Giannis, Luka. Okay, yeah, those guys are good. Yeah, you named 4. You didn't name the rest of them, did you? You didn't say Darko Milicic, did you? And how did he do? I could go down the line. Got plenty more where that came from. And by the way, like Jokic, 2nd round pick. Tony Parker, late 1st round pick. Those guys weren't even Giannis, mid-round pick. None of those guys were even supposed to be all-stars or that good. Luka was his like 2nd or 3rd overall pick. But like as far as 1st overall pick, how about Andrea Bargnani? He was the number 1 overall pick, right? 7-footer that could shoot. How'd he do? Yeah, that's right. Did she ever sue me for that, by the way? Yeah, she's going to sue me, right? I mean, I buried her so long ago. Howie didn't mention Trump's pathetic interview once. He had Trump on his show. Last week he did. He didn't push back at all, and as Caroline Levitt filling in for Grace, but won't interview DeSantis. He's got to get DeSantis on. The name of my book is I Am Turtleboy. You can check it out in the Turtleboy in the store, or on Amazon rather. And I think, yeah, Alice also sent me $20, said, I can't wait until they all start turning on each other. Let me check the turtle chats, make sure I didn't miss any here. Okay, we're good in that regard. Sorry. Can Trump be nominated for the Ratchet Award? I mean, can Hunter be nominated for the Ratchet Award? He might as well be, but I'm not. It's like you guys don't come here to read about Hunter Biden. It's like it's just so. I mean, so for instance, I was listening to someone listening in the car today, and I look at what's Jerry talking about today, what's Michael Knowles talking about, what's Ben Shapiro talking about. I go down the list. They're all talking about the same fucking thing. It's like that's what I don't like about politics. It's like there's literally a script of here's what we talk about today. Here are the talking points. And it's like every conservative pundit is just going to talk about the same thing, generally have the same opinions. They might deliver it in a different way. You guys come to Turtleboy for content you can't get anywhere else. The can't murder shit. Like this is what you guys come here for. It's original. That's why you guys like it. That's why it's big. That's why this brand is growing and successful, because I'm not entering a saturated market. I'm entering a market that no one else is in. No one else is doing what I do. Jim and Netflix, how does it work? So when I'm on one of the machines, you can watch it on your phone. Ron is up by 6 in Arizona, 3 in Georgia. Yeah, I mean, like that's what's going to happen. You can be like Biden is a historically unpopular president. It's like a Jimmy Carter, and it might not matter if Trump gets the nomination. No, I never get any return phone calls. No one ever calls me back. Oh, happy birthday there, Don. Happy birthday, my dude. How's Rachel Rollins doing? You'll have to ask her. I'm not sure. Bayer is the biggest fraud on Fox. What's wrong with Bret Bayer? He's a straight news guy. The glass was only certified at 1,300 meters. They went, ooh. Yikes. The sub imploded. Do you think is that confirmed? Yeah. Yeah, I'm surprised the Red Sox didn't have the Sisters of the Perpetual Indulgence. They've had drag queens do it before. That's why I don't do the woke Sox. I don't do it. And I don't miss it at all. I miss like not being able to introduce that sport to my kids, but we just don't do baseball in my house. It's fine. We'll play in the backyard, but that's about it. Even if the subsurface, it's bolted from the outside, they're in an airtight tomb. Oh. Horrible, man. Are you saying it's, come on, serious? DeSantis, deep state? I don't know what that means. Yeah, you're right. I need to write a second book. I think it's about time for a second book because there's so much more shit. $250K is $40 to us. They have it. They live it. They explore. Yeah, it's tough, man. Like it's just so easy to hate on rich. That's the rich people. That's what I find disgusting about some of the comments people have made about it. It's like, dude, they're still people, you know? You know what? That's the truth with, Matt says Howie is such a fraud. On other shows, he has said that Republicans other than Trump would beat Biden. But then on the show, he defends Trump constantly. Because Howie just had a flip in the last election and started turning on the Trump faction of the party, the Jeff Deals, the Jim Lyons and stuff like that. And he started supporting more moderates, right? And by the way, DeSantis is not a moderate. DeSantis is the most conservative right-wing person in the field. Like people forget that. He's the most conservative by far. Aggressively conservative. And so now I do think there is a thing with that with Trump. I mean, with Howie, it's just like he knows. It's like with me. That's why I don't talk about it that much either. Because I know that a lot of my fans and a lot of the Turtle Riders are fanatical Trump people. and I don't even fuck with him. It's like, this is, I'm not going to argue. Why would I pick a topic that is going to be divide my base? You know, I just don't. So I stay away from politics. But Trump does politics. I mean, how he does politics for a living. So he's in a much different position than I am. That it's like, you know, and I'll just say right now, like, I think the best thing that could happen to the Republican Party is Trump dies peacefully in his sleep. I mean that. It's like, because I don't know him, so it's like I'm not going to cry about it. It's like, but he's not going to go out on his own. He's going to do this to the party till he dies. Like, I put a poll up on Twitter the other day. I go, and it was a little encouraging, the results. I said, what would you vote for? Okay, so suppose Trump loses in 2024, gets the nomination, loses, and does the whole "it was rigged" thing again. Would you vote for him in the Republican primary in 2028? And I had three choices. I said no in 24, no in 28. Yes in 24, no in 28. Yes in 24, yes in 28. Luckily, I think it was like only 21% of people said yes and yes. I think 50% said no and no. So that was very nice to see. Okay. So we have a lot of DeSantis people on my roster. Just the Trump people are louder. And it was like that. I think like 29% said yes, they would vote for Trump in 24, but no in 28. And that's good to see that people haven't lost their mind. But there's that 21%. If you're going to vote for Trump again in 28, if he loses 2 times in a fucking row, then you'll never stop voting for him. You would vote for an 82-year-old man who lost twice, whose entire position is policy position and everything is it was rigged. Like, that's what he runs on. It was rigged. Like, you're going to vote for, like, there's literally, and you realize after a while that the only way this goes away is if he dies. Like that. Like, oh yeah, you're wishing death on him. No, everybody does die eventually. So like this would be very convenient if Donald Trump died. I'm not going to lie. And that way he could be, you know, we can like RIP, we can mourn him, all that shit. And you'd be like, yeah, like, we need to carry on Trump's legacy. Okay, good. As long as it's not Trump himself, that's fine. Oh, thank you, Lauren. I appreciate that. The deepest rescue is 1,500 feet deep. Really? Oh, does it have, what was the plan to get it back up? I don't understand what happened. What went wrong? Yeah, the Titanic wreckage is 12,000 feet deep. Yes, I did. Thank you, Lola. Bret Baier was the first to call Arizona. Bret Baier doesn't make the calls. Somebody else makes the calls. Bret Baier reads the fucking cue cards. Like, Bret Baier doesn't just be like, well, I'm making the call myself. Like, that's not Bret Baier's job. Bret Baier is the guy, he gets Botox, puts on a lot of makeup, and just says the news in a soothing manner. That's his fucking job. It's not his job to make the elections. Thank you. Thank you, 13 Kings. Appreciate that. Okay. I'm still reading these comments. They say they know they're still alive. Oh, they can hear banging. Oh. Oh. Watched for 10 minutes and all they did was talk about you. I'm the straw that stirs the drink, baby. Will Ron be able to push back in the military industrial trial? Of course, man. I mean, Ron pushes back on everything, man. You think, does he seem scared of anything? Like, what would make you think he's scared of anything? Like, what does he back down on? I'm new to you, shocked you're a Rhino supporter. So, Kerry, if you're new here, okay. So, first of all, if you think that Ron DeSantis is a Rhino, you're literally retarded. You don't know anything about what he's done or his policy. You get your news blindly from fucking Truth Social, and there's really no hope for you. I mean, if you think that, talk about Rhino, who's running Donald Trump's campaign in South Carolina? That would be Lindsey Graham. Who did Donald Trump endorse for Speaker of the House? Oh, that'd be Paul Ryan. Remember him? That'd be Paul Ryan. Who didn't fire Anthony Fauci? Oh, that would be Donald Trump. Who hired General Milley? Oh, that'd be Donald Trump. Right. Who brought in John Bolton? Oh, right, Donald Trump. Who brought in Mad Dog Mattis? Oh, Donald Trump did that. Who made Mike Pence his vice president? Oh, right, Donald Trump. He did all that. Like, he is the biggest fucking rhino that there is. He flip-flops all the time on conservative shit. Whereas if you look at Ron DeSantis's record, it's the most conservative record that you could possibly get. Pick a topic: education, abortion, COVID, go down the line. He checks every fucking box, and it's not just words, it's actions. He gets illegal immigrants in his state. You know what he does? Deports them to fucking liberal states. It's like, you literally, there is no hope for you if you actually believe that Ron DeSantis is a fucking rhino. No, we are anti-rhino here. This is a radical conservative right-wing channel. That's what I am. I am as conservative and radical right-wing as you can get, which is exactly why I support Ron DeSantis, an actual conservative who does conservative things. And you can't point anything out to me, any facts, because you have none. Because that's the thing about the MAGA diehards. They're retarded. They don't have any fucking facts. They got nothing. Okay. Anyone else? I do listen. I like Tom Shaddix. I haven't listened to it that often, but I've definitely listened to a few of them. Oh. You sound like a leftist. Okay. You sound like a retard. So there's that. All right. Anyone else? So, Carrie, I mean, Carrie, if you'd like to come up here and debate why, I'm just going to give you the option right now because I invite you up. If you'd like to come up here and actually use your words and debate me on that, there's the link to do it. You're more than welcome to come up, but I bet you won't. We need the politics alone. No, how about this? I'm going to talk about 10 times fucking more just to piss you off. If you're one of those people, it's like, say nice things about Donald Trump or I'm fucking leaving. Get the fuck out of here. I don't want you here. You're fucking useless. Okay? I don't care about you at all. Fuck your feelings. I'm here to offend the fuck out of you. God, you fucking weak. I've never seen weaker people in my life than the MAGA people. And this is a guy, I voted for Donald Trump twice. I'm an actual fucking conservative. Imagine thinking Ron DeSantis is a rhino. Imagine that. Yeah, I'm with you, Tom. It's like, I'll vote for whoever. Like, I'm not voting for a Democrat. But I'd prefer the one that's going to win. You prefer the one that lost. He did lose. I don't know if you ever. Oh, it was rigged. Well, okay, whatever. He's still not the president. The good thing about winning with 60% is, like Ron DeSantis did, you don't have to worry about things getting rigged. And by the way, Ron DeSantis made his state so it can't be rigged. It's just like, that's what you can do when you're the fucking person in charge, is you get to make the rules. Trump should have tried that when he was president. Oh no, the deep state got him. Well, then what fucking use is he? I thought he was going to take down the deep state. He has the left behind him. Name one fucking person on the left who's behind him. Name one. Can you, Carrie? I know you're wicked smart and you're into politics. By the way, you're the reason women couldn't vote until 1920 because you're stupid, obviously. So name one person on the left who supports Ron DeSantis. The people on the left are much more scared of Ron DeSantis, and they've made that clear. They want Trump to get nominated. They want it. And you're like, yeah, let's do what the left wants. And that makes me not a rhino somehow. You're clueless, my dude. You'll see. Well, who's the president right now? Not Donald Trump. So I did see. And again, you're too scared to come up on here. You're too scared. Sounds like a true left. You don't even know what the left is, dear. You don't even know what the left is. What name one policy position? I dare you to name one policy position that Ronald DeSantis has that is of the left. Name one. Can you do it? I'll give you $50 right now if you can name one thing. That's it. Just one thing, Gary. I'm dying. Can you give me one thing that Ron DeSantis has done that is considered liberal or left wing? Just one. That's it. Yeah, exactly. But I am a right winger. It's like, I know that's what you don't come here for. But like, I guess my point here is like, dude, you're clueless. Like, so you've said nothing. You've said a lot of things, words. But see, the thing is, Kerry, it's like when you come here, what people like about Turtleboy is I back up what I say. I have evidence, I have facts. You've said about 20 things, yet you've got nothing to back it up. See, there's words. Those are certainly words. You're in the side of the globalist. Tell me how he's a globalist. Can you do it? Can you say anything? Can you use fucking words, Kerry? Please. Let's see what we got. You will see. I don't get news. So you got not. So I'm still waiting for you to say something. You're saying you'll see a lot. So you sound like Adam Lally, basically. You'll see. It's coming. You'll see. You got any evidence? Do you have any evidence to back up anything you're saying, Kerry? I dare you. I dare you. Again, those are words. They allowed him to do that in Florida. Why do you think they all live in vacation there during the pandemic? They allowed him to do, yeah, stupid. Because Ron DeSantis is the fucking governor. He made it that way. No one, Trump was telling states, was condemning. Did you know that he condemned Brian Kemp and Ron DeSantis for opening up too early? Did you know that? I bet you they didn't tell you that on Truth Social. Yeah. I can back that up with evidence. I have links. I have documents. Feel free to ask me. I know you don't have anything besides like, oh, you'll see. That's all you got. All right. Anybody else have any other questions? Winners stay in politics and dictate policy. Losers whine, grift, and make excuses. Exactly. I'm a MAGA. No, we know that. We figured that out. But just the words are struggling for you. Yeah, they've all said that. Like, they're not hiding it. Like, the leftists want Donald Trump more than anything. But Carrie, again, I'm begging you and giving you one more chance. If you can give me a fact, tell me one thing that Ronald DeSantis has ever done. One thing that is leftist. If you can do that, I'll give it to you. But you can't. You can't do it. All right. Anybody else? Yeah, it's like, why don't you debate? I sent you the link, Carrie. Are you scared to debate me, Carrie? Scared. Yeah, look what he fucking destroyed him. Yeah, that's tough. First thing you've said all night that's accurate. First thing you said. Oh my God. It's HERE, dear. HERE. It's true, Lawrence. It's like we don't have to agree, but like I in any discussion I have, I'm going to come prepared, you know? All right. I'm going to, any more comments here? All right. So I guess that's about it, folks. So we're going to end the stream now. So thank you guys for joining me, and we will see you guys all for Turtle Club Thursday night, and we'll see everybody else on Saturday night for the next episode of Turtle Boy Live. Peace, Turtle Riders.